This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And you go, I'm hidden, and then we go, that's our piece.
So I go last.
Yeah. All right. What's going on, everybody? This is That One Piece Talk. My name is Larry.
Lawrence.
Wano. Seb.
And I'm hidden.
And this is That One Piece Talk, where we talk One Piece. As you can see, we are a 5-man team today. We have the pleasure of having Hidden today on the show.
Happy to be here.
So hold on. I gotta do his introduction first and foremost. So today on our show, we have one of the most vibey, down-to-earth, creatively jazz-filled, packed persons who doesn't wait for the music to play, but lets you choose when it plays. Also, this may be a face reveal if you've never seen his lives.
Yeah.
He has over 4K in subscribers on YouTube and 183 followers on Twitter. He's being more active on Twitter. Please follow them all. He's also known for his ultimate devil fruit theory video, which I believe is spoiler somehow, because he probably read Oda's diary, much like Yamato read Oden's. Which currently sits at 41,000 views. I'd like to personally welcome the legend himself, the Hidden Island.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That is the best intro I ever. You guys are awesome. It's my pleasure to be here. I've been watching you guys since, we were both small channels in the beginning.
Yeah.
You guys supported me just when I got started. That Devil Fruit video was the first time you guys commented on one of my videos. And that was... if you remember, I reached 100 subscribers on that video. So the idea that we've been following each other since we were right at the beginning, for me, it's just a great thing to be here today. The One Piece community is amazing. You make friends, you get to enjoy what we're talking about. We get to do work that we're happy with and we're proud of, and we get to spread the love to the community. And I'm just I'm so glad to be here. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me. You guys are so hospitable.
Hidden Island! Yeah. It's so crazy because I think that ever since that video came out, I think I hit up Sebastian during that, and I was just like, bro, I just watched something that not only hit the right type of jazz feeling that I needed, but it literally was so spoiler to me that I fully believed it. And I kind of still do. And I tried to tell these dudes to watch it too because the way you explain the voice of all things, which I think you have a better grasp than 100% of the other people in the One Piece community, that I was just like, yo, what he's saying is true at this point. So I think I've just been a big fan of you. I'm so blessed that you're here and honored, bro. So thank you for coming all the way from New York here.
Yeah. I came all the way
crazy.
from New York. You guys can't see it on camera, but I got Tim's on. So, that's how you know.
Big bang! Yeah, so kind of like you said, the small One Piece content creators, I like to think of Ohara or Brago as these Yonko within the community. And it happens to be me, you, Parvision, us, you, and Parvision happen to be this supernova type of group entering the new world with 100 million berries, and we're the ones to watch out for in Sabaody. Yeah, so it's really dope to see who's gonna punch the Celestial first to really bring that feeling of oh nah, this is real, we're good.
Probably gonna have to make that Zoro kills Kaido, anti-Zoro kills Kaido video. That'll be the first punch.
Hidden's I'm Luffy.
Yeah. Who's Luffy at this point, right?
Nah.
Parvision definitely has to be Kid at some point, right? Because he's just destroying the community with all the lore and connections. He's just blowing people's minds, and it's just tormenting everybody, in a way. Yesterday, you got a taste of it, right? Dude, he's just another level of greatness.
Parvision is
but borderlines
awesome.
On madness, He's
he's the mad scientist. He's the Vegapunk of the One Piece.
Yeah, he's the Vegapunk.
He's the Vegapunk of the One Piece community. I'll put it out there. He has such a creative mind. He has a way of just taking one idea and expanding it into 15 other ideas.
And you're yo, bro, how?
Bro, if I could think this creatively, I'd be putting out a video every day.
Right. Yeah.
But I can't. There's times where I'm what do I make a video on? I gotta come up with a good topic. It's like a factory with him. He just keeps coming up with ideas, and it's great, man. It's
Yo, shout out to Par, man. I know he's in the chat.
Par's in the chat.
Yeah, and that's where it differs because like when you guys connected, I know we're talking about like this for a second, but we got time, right? We got time. When you guys connected and I saw the thumbnail, yo, bro, I was like, there's no way these two are connecting. And then Sebastian's like, yo, we definitely made that happen.
You guys did make that.
And I was just like, yo, there's two, like I said in that when we sent you that message during the live where I was like, they act like two legends can't coexist. I was like, there's a certain aspect that Parvision excels at, and then there's a certain aspect that you excel at. And I was like, the fact that you both exist within the community and we're able to appreciate the same passion we all share, I was like, this makes One Piece better. Like, it makes everything that we're consuming from an entertainment level, but also from, like, a certain perspective on, like, just being able to enjoy life a little bit more better. And I was like, bro, there's no way that these guys just connected like this. So I ended up watching the whole thing. Like, I was just sitting there just being mind blown at, like, your conversations, and I was just like, I'm so glad that if we weren't able to do this, like, we made that happen. But if it did happen because of us, yo, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I love it.
You sat through the whole 5 hours. Like,
yo, I did.
I'm going to. I just haven't had a chance.
And I know that people on your channel are saying, like, they've been listening to parts of it. And it just shows, like, yo, people love content like that. And I hope you guys keep linking up.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, definitely.
We have to because we did the bingo board thing. We got to check up on that.
That was when I had to stop to leave to come to here. I was like, damn, I wanted to see what that was going to be. I just think you guys are the perfect, like, combination where you're, like, smooth jazz and he's, like, off the walls, like, connections. It's so dope, man. Like, just the theory crafting that was happening live action. On the, like, Par would say one thing and Pin be like, yo, hold on, because this, and this. And Par would be like, yeah, so this, is this. And I'm like, yo, I'm like trying to take
that's something. I gotta say, if there's one thing that we got right with that stream, it was like I see a lot of One Piece collab streams, and it's usually just people talking about their ideas for the story, sharing their theories. But like what we were doing, it was like straight up theory crafting live, like from nothing. We just like made theories out of nothing, which is something I think. That was special. I realized that part of the way through the stream. I was like, yeah, we're doing some crazy stuff right now. We're cracking the code on One Piece.
And it was also a presentation. You know what I'm saying? Because I've watched some, like, for example, Par ended up being with Brago at one point, and they were discussing with, I think it was Joy Boy Theories and Arthur. They only had, like, pictures of their icons and then, like, a colored background that was, like, super distracting in the back. You actually had like the One Piece logo live, and then you had the two screens, and then you had your artwork, which is purple, which is really nice color in the back, and you had that same feeling with the music, and I was just like, yo, chef's kiss. I was like, yo,
their logos on both sides.
And I was just like, yo, like, he gets it. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, he makes One Piece better, and like, I don't think enough people know how to make One Piece better because it's so great already.
Well, you guys are doing it too. I mean, you have such a like nice setup. I love this entire studio.
Yeah, I think if Sebastian was, it'd be better, you know.
No, you guys have the branding. You guys have everything. It's like really nice. I mean, I have a T-shirt now. This is your guys' brand.
Yeah, we have T-shirts. Like,
this is pretty nice. I got hooked up, guys. So.
Oh man.
So yeah, enough praising you.
Sure.
We're gonna get into some One Piece.
Let's get into One Piece.
So for announcement, guys. YouTube, we are 60 subscribers from 2,000. Hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it.
Yes.
Spotify and Apple Podcasts, we went up 52 listeners since last episode. That puts us over 700 audio listeners. Keep listening, Nakamo.
Keep listening.
Oh, so one of our moderators in our Discord, he said, hey, Larry, his name is Trick. He said, hey, Larry, speak about this because this is happening after the episode. So we are having a community event. It's called the Davy Back Championship. It kicks off tonight. Over the last week, our community has cast votes in for their One Piece characters they wanted to see participate in this special tournament. The results will be revealed live in Discord after this episode. So come join the amazing moderators in the voice chat, see what characters were voted in, and what their matchups will be for the rest of the competition. Over 70 characters received votes, so come see if your favorite made the cut right after the show. Also, if you want to support us. You can join and be a member through YouTube, or you can go to our Me6 link in the description to subscribe to our subscription plan. If not, you can cancel at any time. Also, if you don't have money and you're broke like me, you could just like the video. You could comment, you could share it, and do whatever you need to, and that helps equally as well. And then buy our shirts on thatonepiecetalk.com/merch. You can get the shirts that we're currently wearing, and besides Sebastian, and just enjoy yourself.
They're comfortable.
Yeah,
They're comfortable.
They're super comfortable.
They're very nice.
We do not make a single cent off of these shirts, by the way, because of production, the box that comes with it, and also the quality of it, because I wanted to go all out, and I didn't really think about financials in it, because I just wanted to have a very good shirt. But other than that, let's get to some questions, right? Oh, let's find out who's in the live chat. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of people in the chat. I Hate Mew. What's up, man? Hopefully I said that right this time. Parvision, Chris, Onion, Homeboy, Aaron Tate, D Mingo, Trick, Lunarian Prince, Eagle 3-Eye, Gani, Kevin Salinas, Javian, KJ, Ancrath. There's so many people, man. Willie.
Shout out to everybody
Gambit,
that's in the live chat.
Jaden, Keka, Asked Elm, so many, Shane Dadachi, so many in the chat, man. So much. I appreciate y'all being here.
Thank you so much for being here. SGG. Thank you so much. I know we received a super chat from Par. Can we read that?
We did get a super chat from Parvision. It says, "The One Piece madness. Love seeing you guys together. Ha 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 ha. You're all too kind."
Thank you, Par. Appreciate that, man. Hey, everybody, thank you for just being here. Thank you for wanting to see Hidden. I know we hype him up at basically every episode, right?
Yeah, we
so
do.
it's like, I'm super glad that you all can just enjoy what's happening right now, because One Piece isn't going to last forever, but this moment will.
Family does.
You know what I'm saying?
Josh O in the chat, too. I see you.
Josh O, what's up, man? All right.
We also got someone that subscribed to us.
Did
We did. I didn't see who it was.
Oh, my bad. Hey, thank you for subscribing.
Appreciate it.
All right, so we have these random messages hidden. I'm sure you've seen.
Yeah.
Super chat, super, and then Nami Swan is like somebody subscribes. All right.
Sure.
Yeah, so
That's great.
If we're talking, don't think Marv's like interrupting. All right, so first question is, I know that you had a very technical and theory-ridden podcast yesterday, basically show yesterday. So I wanted to ask you a funny one for your first question.
Sure.
So I'll let you go first, and then we'll take turns. If you had to punch one person, but the consequence would be an admiral, the same way Sabaody happened, who would it be? St. Charlos, Spandam, Orochi, Stelly, or Wappo?
Wow, those guys are in different tiers almost. I feel like I could forgive Wapol a little bit compared to like Charlos. I know this is probably the obvious answer, but I have to punch Charlos. I mean,
yeah? Punching Charlos all over again?
I would punch him 10 times. I hate that guy. I mean, there's like few I feel like a lot of characters in One Piece, there's a lot of bad guys in One Piece, but a lot of them have redeeming qualities or parts of their personality that, they have a little bit of depth. You can kind of like, you don't hate when they're on page, but whenever Charlos is on page, I really wish I could just punch him through the comic, Like, I really hate that guy. So, like, yeah, I'll show him how we do it in New York.
Stop him out.
You see that? The Timbs comes up.
Tim,
in
bro.
the
I got the Timbs, I'll stop him out.
Tim, no me.
Bing bong! What about you, Law? Who would you pick? St. Charlos, Spandam, Orochi, Stelly, or Wappo?
If he already chose
Who's worth
St.
an
Charles-
admiral coming?
Honestly, I feel like Spandam there too. Like, I feel like
Spandam has to be there.
yo, he's just a piece of crap. Like, honestly, because
bro.
like when we saw him stomping on Robin's head when she was like, he practically made her bite the curb and start stomping on her head because she
American Exile.
Yeah, seriously,
that was
like,
crazy.
So honestly, like, putting it a different way, like I know we talked about like punching him, but remember when Zoro was gonna cut
St. Charles? Yeah.
I kind of wish that happened instead of Luffy because I feel like that cut would have done more damage. Like, it possibly could have killed him or something,
Yeah.
But, like, what spot him, too, is, like...
We know One Piece characters don't die.
Yeah. But I'm saying is, like, that cut could have did more damage than Luffy's punch because that could have left a heavy scar, like a permanent scar, or, like... endangered something. So whatever Spadum got at the end of like, I know he's not in the world government no more. I feel like he deserves worse. Like, you know,
Spadum deserves worse. Okay.
Like, honestly, what he did to Robin, every Straw Hat should have just mobbed on him after. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Fight back!
Yeah,
Fight back!
Yeah. So it's like that. I choose. Since he chose Straw, I choose Spadum.
Choose Spandam.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Lai? What do you think? St. Charlos, Spandam, Orochi, Stelly, or Wapple?
I think all of them probably. They actually really like that's hard because like we're dealing with Rochi now, but like I feel like the ones sprung out, Carlos and Spandam got like it got skin deep when you saw them how they were acting, especially when you saw with Hachi, then you saw with Shirahoshi. Just like you're doing it again, like
Yeah.
So just like in Spandam, like it's been like a whole arc of like Carlos was that moment. Spandam was like a whole arc of you just doing things to Robin. So it's just like I might have to go with. Spandam too. Again, I'm not trying to pick Lawrence. Like,
Oh no, you're twinning right now.
I know. Because Orochi, I feel like we seen it, but none of it was like on panel to a degree. Like, and most of it was just
That's true too.
Yeah, and like he hasn't really.
And plus, like Kaido's like backing him, and Kaido's
Yeah.
allowing him to do all this stuff.
So,
But that's sort of like Spandam as well, though. He has the Marine government, you know, behind him.
but the thing is, like, we actually saw him like do that to Robin. Like Orochi, I didn't see
Yeah.
him do anything to like physically do anything to anyone except like even. Toki, like he bit her a little bit, but that was it.
So it was just a physical act of seeing it being done by the person that really gets your blood boiling.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Orochi, I mean, like, he had a pretty messed up childhood, you know? Like,
Yeah.
at least with him,
Yeah.
we got some sort of backstory that explained how he got to where he is now. We didn't get that for Spandam.
Yeah.
I think
That's
he was
true.
just like that his whole life. Like, he just
Yeah.
grew up and he, like, you know, like, picked on other kids or something. Like, he was just not a cool guy, probably.
His like dad was like high up. He got like the nepotism.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's Spandam. It's not even close. I don't know how.
Why is it not
Charles.
close?
I mean,
What?
Listen. So what Spandam did was done to a Straw Hat. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like everybody else, like even with Wapple, it was like tangentially, or however I say the word, but like it's connected to Chopper, but it wasn't like directed.
Are you using
to
the
Chopper.
word that you just used like 2 days ago?
Yes. So when I was I tried to use
We
it.
went out.
Shut up.
We went out,
Let me
and
get
this
my
dude.
point out.
Hold on. We went out from our birthday, right? And this dude, some guy ended up using a word, and it's eventually like, yo, what does that mean? And now he's using
I'm
it
trying to
today.
incorporate it
Tangentially?
into.
All
Yes,
right.
thank you.
There
It's
you
trying
go.
to
Go ahead,
it's my
bro.
vocabulary.
Go ahead,
It's
bro.
one of my favorites.
Anyway,
You almost
what
nailed
happened?
it, though.
Yeah, almost. What happened to Robin? One, it happened live action. Two, it was off the like cusp of us finding out her most tragic backstory. And three, it was happening to a Straw Hat lot. Like it was so much. She was crying. She was biting the ground. He was stomping on her. Orochi and Wapple, they're not doing all that to people on panel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Spandam. It's not close, and I'm not stopping at one punch. That's what almost everybody in the chat is saying. I'm not just punching him.
Yeah.
He going.
And what your master saying, like it was physical and verbal.
Yeah,
like, he
it
was
was a lot.
breaking her down mentally and physically.
Yeah.
And he plus he was enjoying it too.
Yeah.
like he's that sick. So like, nah, he definitely spat him.
I put a poll in the chat. Spandam's up. He's at 48%. Orochi's second at 26%. I think that's recency bias. Charlos is at 22 and Wapple at 4%. There's like two Wapple like supporters in here that are like, yo, it's Wapple, bro.
So for me, I agree. Spandam is definitely there. He's number one. But like I feel like Orochi is like such a close one. And the reason I say it is because I get that it's a Straw Hat, and I get that overall you seeing what he's doing adds to that. You know what I'm saying? It's like seeing the guy from American X stomp on somebody's you know, and what he did was super graphic, right? But then you got like Hitler, who's like starving countries and like, you know, putting them in encampments and killing them. And it's like Orochi was doing that. Like when we first got introduced to Wano, we had a mother say she was going
that
to
was the
do what
darkest.
she was going to do to her child. I can't say it on live air, but she was going to do what she was going to do to her child because she couldn't feed her child. And he was doing that across the board, across Wano, besides one place. So it's like, I get seeing it is going to make you react, but living it for 20 years is way worse than what Robin was experiencing during that one short hour.
That's true.
You're right, but we didn't experience it.
I know. I know this.
Like, I'm not a superhero.
I'm
bro,
just
coming in to save the day with my punch.
I get
I'm
it,
just
but
going
it's-
on my feels.
It's just like, damn. Like
feel you.
when I read Wano starting off, I was
Yeah, I
like,
feel you.
what?
But then by that same logic,
Charlos is
with
like,
Charlos, that's
yeah.
800 years.
Yeah.
But
That's
he wasn't.
Potentially, he
But
might
wasn't-
have been, though.
But he wasn't alive for 800 years. He's not the one
theory, right?
controlling everything, unless all Celestials can like be immortal. But we don't know.
That's
We don't know. We don't know.
Listen, man.
that's sad right there. That's his theory. Like, you know.
My theories be wrong. I'm not hidden. I don't get confirmed
Hey,
theories.
my theories are wrong too, bro. I'm telling you, there's like half of them I'm sure are gonna be wrong.
Listen.
At least.
Gear 5, Giant Luffy, man. This is the first person I thought of. I was like, yo, holy crap.
You did call
I
it.
read the spoiler. I was like, yo, holy
You did
crap.
call it, bro.
When that panel happened, I'm sorry, pardon my French. I scared the shit out of my wife. I was reading the manga like when the chapter dropped, and I got to that panel and I screamed. I was like, no way, I was right. And then she heard it from the other room. She jumped. She came. She looked at me. She's like, I was like, what happened? I was like, oh, it's the new One Piece chapter. Don't worry. I was like, I can't, because she reads too, but it's hard to get the Japanese version of the chapter compared to the translation. So I was like, you'll read it in like a month. Don't worry. That was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
They're like mentioning all the evilness that like each of them has done, and it's like, damn, I forgot.
Yeah.
Like Tama drank that poison water.
Yeah, like
that's messed up too. Man.
Like they were so thirsty they had to drink poisoned water. Like Orochi's bad, bro. And it was only because Kaido was backing him, which is the same as Spandam. But Spandam didn't have power. That's the thing too. He was just in control of an assassination group.
But that
Orochi
added to it.
Orochi controlled, like, that was what he was used to. You know what I'm saying? Orochi was like, I'm just this bad. Like, we don't even talk about the geishas part. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that geisha part still happens where, like, he's taking advantage of, like, he's kidnapping children and raising them through those 20 years and doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's insane.
It gets bad in One Piece, man. If
Yeah,
you're a One Piece
is
villain,
so
you're
dark.
probably a terrible person.
But that goes into
true.
to Charles, because they have like they stay on the top of the world's power.
But I could make a solid argument that Charlos literally was just, he never knew right from wrong. He just grew up thinking that that was just his way of life.
like
And,
Dofi.
sometimes you need a punch to let you know.
It's happened to St. Oswald. He got rocked,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
changed his perspective.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's true.
And for that reason, my punch goes to Charles.
Charles' face should have changed, low key, because
Yeah,
like
right?
Duval's changed.
They said Spandam misused nuclear codes. He gotta go.
Yo, he did. I forgot about that too.
Do you want me to get this super chat real quick?
Yeah, get the super chat before we read this.
I'm happy I was able to get to this one quickly because it says shout out Sebastian in it. I hope all is well. I love the content you guys are putting out. Chopper's the best straw hat. Thank you for the $5 super chat. ASAP GC.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a loud bang.
I paid Marv to do that.
You better turn that bang less. All right. So, I do want to get one theory in. I hope you have questions. Do you have questions at all? Like anything you wanted to ask? Because I was going to save it for a little bit.
Yeah,
like
I
have
mean,
your own part of the episode.
I just wanted to flow with the like you guys. I always watch you guys, and I'm just listening in on the conversation. I just want to be a part of it today.
Okay.
That's fun for me. So.
All right. So this is one I particularly want to ask Sebastian and Lionel, actually. Because I feel like you guys might think a little weird about this, but to me, I felt like I needed your response. So I'm gonna start with you two first, and then go to Hidden and Law, and then it'll be me. So Soba Sanji, who we follow on TikTok, has a theory. I thought we'd all find interesting, but particularly you two. He says that Blackbeard is based off Apophis, the Egyptian deity. He's known as the deity of darkness. Apophis is an arch enemy of the sun deity and has 3 powers: darkness, chaos, and the body of a snake. Blackbeard's third devil fruit and final devil fruit will be the Hebi no Mi model type Yamato no Orochi. Blackbeard will become Apophis, the deity of darkness. To add to this, there's a hieroglyphic of a man who resembles Nika fighting a man with a snake body on Skypiea. Now, I know everybody can't see this picture, but I was just gonna show this picture around the table where it looks like Nika fighting somebody.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So
Okay.
the darkness is supposed to be the Yami Yami, of course. The chaos that this deity holds also is the Gura Gura no Mi. And then the snake body, which is the Heavy Heavy no Mi, probably will be some type of snake or maybe even Orochi. So I wanted to see, I'll go with Lionel first. What did you think about this theory and does it hold any weight?
Yeah, it's really interesting, honestly, because like going like Oda always like goes into cultures and mythologies and stuff. So like again, we're always trying to figure out what Blackbeard's next fruit is. I actually told Lawrence that remember I said about the theory about the Cerberus fruit and having that. Also thought remember that video we saw when the guy was it was an interactive video. He connected Orochi with Blackbeard. Mm-hmm. That right then I started thinking, yo, what if Blackbeard actually gets Orochi's fruit? And I mentioned to Lawrence a while back. But I'm thinking, that's just a thought. It just came into my head, and I looked at Sebastian, and I think I told Sebastian, but I don't know if he remembers. Mm-hmm. But I thought that too, but I didn't. But this actually makes more sense, like, because I feel like this might actually connect it, like, because it's already with, the image, is that from One Piece, that image?
That image is from One Piece and Skypiea.
Okay. So like,
I know you guys can't see the image, but it's basically a man in the hieroglyphics. He's holding a shield and a sword. He has long hair that's flowing. And basically it's supposed to resemble the Nika with the hair, the spear. And I believe Nika was holding a shield, right?
He was holding a spear.
He's just holding a spear. Yeah.
Spear.
And then there's somebody with like a snake heads.
Is that in like just the anime, or is it like in a panel as well? Because I noticed that was an anime image.
yeah.
You know how I feel about anime.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like,
But there was that image with the monkey and the devil fruit being combined to make a pacifista that wasn't shown in the manga.
right.
So that holds weight too.
So in regards to the theory, again, I've said it before. I'm willing to accept almost any Blackbeard theory because we just don't know anything about the dude. You know what I mean? So like, you can come from left field with it as long as it's concise enough. I'm gonna be with it. I you know me, I'm a big Blackbeard gets his third devil fruit from Marco person. Like I've always been on that. I just think that the symmetry of him getting 3 fruits all from the Whitebeard pirates is just like it's poetry. But the fact that plus it just makes up for all the weaknesses that he has with his current fruit, like double damage, like not being intangible. Like it solves those problems, speed, mobility. But the fact that Orochi is so trash with his devil fruit, like I feel like you could do so much more with what he has, and he hasn't done anything with it.
Yeah.
And there seems to be this like deeper lore to the Korozumis, which Blackbeard is the kind of person that would know it. You know what I mean? Like he's the kind of person that studies history and would have that kind of thing. And if I remember correctly, they're the one that's they're the only one that's not named after the moon of the 5 clans or so. And like Blackbeard never sleeps. Like there's a connection there potentially, but I just haven't seen enough dope and like Hawk stuff happen with Orochi's fruit to think that Blackbeard would target it in this way. That's the only real thing. Like if there's like a secondary level to what you could do with that fruit, if it does give you 8 lives, you know what I mean? Like or whatever how many lives Orochi has, like maybe that's why. But in general, I would probably say no, Soba Sanji. But like I respect the name, you feel me?
Yeah. Okay.
I actually had similar thoughts. For instance, because like Blackbeard targeted the Dr. Fruit for a specific reason.
Yeah.
Like it could take away powers from other devil fruits, and he knew that he can't be a Lagia like the regular. But he said this gives me so much of a greater advantage that it's worth that risk. That I'm not intangible. That he obviously saw Whitebeard's fruit. So for me to think what Orochi's fruit is gonna make Blackbeard seek it out. Because, again, Blackbeard studies. He knows history. He knows the devil fruit's capability. So there had to be a specific reason why he would choose the Orochi's fruit. There has to be something that we don't know. And clearly Blackbeard would probably reveal it if he gets it. Like, I'm for it because it's interesting. And I also believe, like, I think somebody mentioned it before that Blackbeard gets fruits that Luffy has not faced or fought. He never fought anybody with a Darkness fruit. He hasn't fought Whitebeard. He can counter Whitebeard, but he hasn't fought Whitebeard. And I'm thinking of the next fruit that he's going to get, Luffy hasn't encountered it. he didn't count Marcos, like, so that's one. But he also didn't count Orochi's. He never interacted with Orochi.
We still in there.
So, like, there's a possibility, but again, Blackbeard has to realize the value of it and how much it will benefit him.
Okay.
It is a good idea because, when it comes to mythical zone devil fruits, they're usually reserved for very important characters. And Orochi, while he's an important character, hasn't used his devil fruit in a way that has, I guess, played much of a part in the story. So aside from maybe where, he was thought to be dead and he's still alive because of his fruit's ability, he's able to lose a couple heads, I could see that being the only reason Oda would have given him the fruit. But at the same time, I don't know if I'm all on board with that theory, just because, if you asked me before 7 p.m. yesterday, I would have said, that sounds like it makes sense.
This is Par's vision.
After talking to Par about the shadow stuff and the idea that so like in the manga, right, they give the explanation to how the shadows work. And the explanation is basically that a shadow is attached to your body from the moment you're born, but that shadow has a separate soul. It is a separate entity that is basically locked to you for your whole life. And if you lose the shadow, then you lose part of yourself, sun comes up, and then you disappear. That's how it works. And then we were talking about the implications of that, because there's all this stuff with shadows in One Piece, with the shadows being cast from the moonlight, with sending people into the future, sun god Nika being a thing. So like when light shines on something, a shadow is created. No matter what, you can't have light without shadows. So the way I'm thinking about it is, if Blackbeard's fruit is the darkness fruit, it almost feels natural that his fruit is not a Logia, and it's a zone, and it's another mythical zone. And that's what I'm banking on, because I feel like there has to be a counterpart to Nika. If there's a sun god devil fruit, there has to be a shadow god or dark god devil fruit, and that would be why his fruit doesn't let him become intangible. I know the explanation people say is, when you're in the light, you can't become intangible, just like Crocodile with water, all that stuff. But I just feel like it only makes sense for him to kind of match Luffy in some regard and also be a Zoan already. So his third devil fruit, everyone thinks he's going to get a Zoan, a Paramecia, and a Logia. But if he already has the Zoan, what would his third devil fruit be? It would have to be a Logia, right? But then there's the shadow thing. And I'm like, I don't know if he even is going to get 3 fruits. Maybe he's going to just have the 2. And maybe the explanation for why he's able to have 2 is because his shadow has 1 and he has 1.
Yeah.
And maybe that's where it comes in. Maybe he has Rox's shadow. And this is all the stuff that me and Parvision were talking about.
That's why they put the cloak on, so the true shadow could come out and he could feed that fruit to the shadow and then take it into...
I mean, it makes sense. And then you wonder, like, what if someone else's shadow is in Blackbeard? Maybe he has another person's shadow. Maybe that's why he's not able to sleep.
See, I'm so in line with your devil fruit video. How would that impact the light water reflection?
Right. So there's no way I'm ever going to get anything totally correct. Right. There's probably details in that video that are completely off the mark. Mm-hmm. But I feel like this still connects, because the big premise of that video was that light is an important factor in the creation of devil fruits, and that maybe Nika was the one who created devil fruits using sunlight, a vital ingredient in growing fruits on trees, things like that. But if there's light, there's also darkness. So the question came up in my comment section a lot. If he made the devil fruits, why would he make a counter to the devil fruits? Why would there be a darkness fruit? How does that work? If darkness cancels out devil fruits, how would you make a darkness devil fruit? So then maybe that's related to the God thing. Mm-hmm. That would be an answer to that question, because it's like, it's a zone. It's not a Logia of darkness. It's a zone that lets him use darkness. So that's where I'm coming from.
Lawrence Lotto, they were saying that in 800 years, there's going to be a Shanks fruit. Shanks. That one took me out.
What does that even mean?
It's like he'll be a mythical deity to people at that point. We did get another super chat.
Read it real quick.
From Jaden Rice. It says, what do you guys think Hiyori's role will be in the future of the story? Also, happy to make it, guys. Love the content across the board. Jaden, we appreciate you for the $5, man, for real.
She gonna get blown out, bro, by Zoro. I don't know,
What?
bro. I don't know, bro. She has no point at this point.
I think she becomes Shogun for a brief time while Momo joins the.
No, Momo's not joining. Momo's not joining. I think she'll be there.
When he do?
Wait, so I thought somebody gonna say Yamato's gonna be Shogun. What happened to that?
Nah, she gonna be his first retainer.
I can't.
Nobody heard me or him. Oh.
I said like I know Sebastian said that, or I forgot somebody said like Yamato's gonna be Shogun and Yamato's gonna be Shogun. Momosuke is gonna join the Straw Hats. So I forgot. Was it you, Hidden, who mentioned that? Or?
What? Oh yeah. In my Yamato video, I was
yeah.
talking about. I think she's gonna be his like head retainer back in Wano.
Listen, she needs to be. She's not gonna be good for nothing else.
Damn.
I'm not trying to downplay her. I'm just like
Hiyori or Yamato here?
Hiyori.
He was talking about Yamato just now.
Oh my bad.
Like, damn.
Yeah,
Nah, Yamato joining, bro.
Oh, she not.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I don't know.
we agree that Hiyori is
What you
probably
think,
not gonna
Lawrence?
do much. Come on, bro.
I didn't want to put it down hard because he was speaking. I don't know what she's gonna do in all honesty. Like, it seems like her place is here in Wano
1000%.
because everyone knows her. Too, they don't know she's Odin's daughter yet. That's gonna be revealed that Wano's gonna have to take.
Yeah.
So they just know like she's famous for her beauty as being that. But once they found out that she was Odin's daughter this entire time, they're gonna view her differently. So she's gonna have her own place helping Momo run Wano. So that's
When he get back.
I want to throw a wrench into the Yamato's gonna join thing, and I have a new piece of ammunition I discovered yesterday.
Talk to him.
And I want to throw it out
He
there.
has a
Talk to
whole
him.
video discussing why she's not gonna join.
Talk to him.
So let me just ask you guys. You would say like the biggest reason that people think Yamato is going to join is because Yamato asked Luffy to join, right? That's probably the reason everyone is pinning her as the next crewmate.
Nah,
I don't even get it personally.
I think it solely pertains to she just wants to leave, bro.
Yeah, but if she never asked,
I think she would
we-
leave with anybody.
So I would say the
That's the
biggest
thing.
proponent isn't so much that she asked to join; it's the parallels between her and Odin.
Yeah, that's
so
what I was saying.
if Luffy is Roger, this is her Odin, where she would join the crew late in the game for the last stretch of the. I think that's what people's biggest thing is.
but we have Momo.
I don't get how y'all not seeing it with Momo.
So here's the thing, right?
but-
So if the asking to join the crew thing is like a big part of what got everyone like interested in that idea, which I'm gonna hinge my argument on that because I think that's the case. I don't know if anyone remembers back in Punk Hazard, but when Luffy encountered, it was Kinemon's legs attached to the dragon, and he was fighting the dragon, and he yelled out. I think he yelled out to Kinemon's legs, "Why don't you join my crew?" So does that mean Kinemon is on the table to join now too? But no one's talking about that because Luffy was talking to Kinemon's legs and not an entire character. But like he asked him to join the crew.
Hold on, but we know that Kinemon's reason isn't to join a crew. His reason is to support Momonosuke and defeating Kaido.
Yeah, but
like,
what
that
about
was his goal.
What about after that's done?
Well, Yamato has been on the island for like 20 years, locked up on Onigashima, and also, I don't believe she just wants to join Luffy because she wants to join Luffy. She's like, yo, I just want to leave Wano, period. So I'm gonna be willing to go with Law or Kid if I don't go with you, but I want to go with you because of my connection to Ace. Ace has told me about you plenty of times, and I was waiting for you to come here. And now that you're here, I want to join you.
So I'm gonna let you go because you were trying to go first. But
I was gonna bring that out because I actually told Sebastian and Lawrence a while back. If you look at Yamato's, how in the beginning, it's actually similar to how Jinbei joined. That, for instance, if you look at Jinbei heard so much about Luffy from Ace. Then eventually, Jinbei was also in prison, just like Yamato was also in prison. Luffy frees Jinbei, Luffy frees Yamato. And their connection was because Ace talked about Luffy, their little brother. Ace's little brother to that person. And then he became a bond. And eventually, that person ended up joining the crew. Again, I'm not saying it's the same thing, but I saw parallels between Jinbei and Yamato. That they were really strong at that point. Like Luffy, for instance, arguing Jinbei was stronger than Luffy. Yamato was stronger than, people say in the beginning, Yamato may have been stronger than Luffy or stronger than Zoro and Sanji. But eventually, that got changed, and now Jimmy's a member of the crew.
So this is where somebody like Mr. Morge has come into play, where he's like, the reason why Yamato won't join is because she's the only Straw Hat, with the exception of Brooke, who didn't want to join at first. So like Jinbei was against joining Luffy. Like he was just like, no, I'm never joining. Like Jinbei had to earn respect for Luffy the same way Nami had to, and Sanji and Zoro, because remember, these guys were just like, yo, I don't want to join. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yamato's like the only other person that doesn't want to join. Like her recruitment is so different from everybody else's besides Brooke, which I was just like, yo, you can't just leave one Straw Hat as an exception and be like, this is the reason why she's not joining. So that may be a thing, but overall, like, I watched his video too, and he had me convinced as well. Yeah. But I was just like, at this point, like,
I try to tell you since forever.
The most prominent evidence to me as to why she wouldn't join is because she knew too much. Then we got the confirmation that she never even read the pages that would have caused her not to join the crew. So the fact that that's not there anymore, like, it has swayed my opinion to more so that she's going to join.
All right, so small rebuttal, just in general. A part of it, too, is Yamato isn't just, I've been locked on this island. She's been locked on Onigashima for 20 years. She hasn't been able to roam and actually live amongst the people of Wano that she's fighting for.
What's different from Onigashima to Wano, bro? Like, overall.
She hasn't been a lot. There's 5 whole regions of the island she has not been able to, like, embrace and be a part of the culture of this land that she loves, these people that she loves. But remember, so...
That goes against everything she wants to do, though. You're just saying, hey, she's going to have a piece of the world instead of the world itself.
Sure. Okay, is it what she wants or is it what Odin wants?
Thank you.
But she's finding out what she wants through Odin.
What is her character arc if she joins the Straw Hat crew? What is it actually? You get what I mean? Like, there's no arc with her joining. There's no, like, deeper meaning in her joining. It's it's face value.
Her goal is complete the moment she joins.
Thank you. Like, there's no arc there.
Yeah.
You get me? And again, it doesn't have to be Momo. I just think Momo would join because there's an arc there. He has to learn how to be a leader through watching Luffy, an actual real life example of a real leader. There is no, like, arc. If she joins the crew and this is just the superficial, this is what I wanted to do and I did it the second I get on the ship, that's not a Straw Hat. You get what I'm saying? Like, that is like fan fiction. Like, somebody comes in and says, yo, Kaido had a daughter, Luffy beat her up, whatever, on the crew one day.
Because Oda needed to learn how to be a man. He needed to learn how to be Shogun.
And that's why I love Hidden's video from before. Because I've been saying Yamato's not joining since forever. At the minimum, I needed her to figure out her identity issues first before we could even have a conversation. But he was saying if part of the identity issues and, like, her arc is figuring out who she really is in this world, and that is the guardian deity of Wano. You get what I'm saying? She ate that fruit for a reason. Like, to me, that's going to be what her arc ends up being, where she realizes, and this is why, like I said, I like your video, they have to take those 2 different sides of the Odin coin. Yamato is basically all of the adventurous, like, she wants to be all that stuff, and is all that stuff, but she needs to learn the lesson that, it's not about going on doing adventures and stuff. It's about protecting home. And in Momo's case, he wants to be this protector of home, but he needs to gain the experience of being on that journey first before he can do it. And
I guess maybe I just want more chicks on the crew.
That's cool.
Because there's way too many guys
Carrot
right
coming
now.
too.
And plus, like, to mess up that whole Zoro and Sanji dynamic would be perfect, yo.
Never.
I just want to put, like, one point in there. I really just feel like Yamato's identity is based around Odin, and she isn't herself. And that's the thing that really gets me with her, where it just feels like her goals, her motivations, everything about her character is based on someone else and not coming from her. And she wanted to be Odin because the entire time she thought the Kozuki legacy was done. She thought Odin was dead. His family was gone. They were missing 20 years. She heard nothing from them. She just had her Bible that she was reading, and then she came to the conclusion that she wanted to be like Odin. But now she has a new purpose. Now Momo is back. She finds out that there is a child of Odin out there who needs her support. She needs to support him. you know, he is still mentally a child. He's not ready to take up his father's mantle. And I feel like whether or not Momo joins, that's a whole other conversation. But whether or not Yamato joins, I feel like hinges on the fact that Momo is not ready. I don't think he's adventure ready just yet. I think he needs to earn that. And I don't think he's Shogun ready just yet. So he needs some sort of support. And that's where Yamato would come in as a head retainer. She just wants to be accepted. Her biggest thing is she's been holed up and cooped up in a room her whole life. She has no friends. And this is what Kaido said to her: you can't make friends with a samurai because you're an Oni. You're my son. She needs friends. She needs friends. She needs acceptance. She needs a community to accept her. And if she is the guardian spirit of Wano, what a better community to have take her in than the people of Wano who will celebrate her as a hero. You know, that's how I feel about her. I feel like that's where her arc is going. If there's a character arc with Yamato, we're at the beginning still. We still have to get to the end of the fight. And that's where she's going to learn her place in the world. But that's my...
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's where I feel like she's going.
Yo, Hidden Marv hasn't even read One Piece. He be dropping those bombs in the perfect places. And he hasn't even read it.
Oh, man.
I'll say one thing, or a few things. But for that, I want to ask you guys a question, though. Out of all the people going on, though, right? We see that they have their different, like, Luffy knows what Momo's goal and dream is, right? Just like we see Momo kind of copying Luffy. I'm going to be the king of the pirates. Luffy. Momo, I'm going to be the shogun of Wano, right? Mm-hmm. And now we have Yamato thrown in this mixture, talking about, I want to be free, take me with you, first meeting them, right? And they bonded off a little bit. Yeah, it wasn't much, but then sometimes it doesn't take much for Luffy to actually be part of his crew, part of his Nakama. He sees legs. He saw a skeleton, be my Nakama. So the thing is, what I'm meaning is here, out of the group we see here, who is most likely Luffy going to ask to join? Because besides, Luffy knows that Momo's spot is here in Wano. Do you really see Luffy asking, because Momo's not going to be like, yo, Luffy, take me with you. Do you really see Luffy asking Momo, become my Nakama, join my crew? Does he see more of will he ask more of Yamato, become my Nakama?
I don't remember what chapter it is exactly, but he technically already called him a Nakama in the manga.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but this goes in the same thing. Does Luffy view Vivi as his Nakama?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Where isn't it Vivi?
Right. But why is that?
That's a good point.
Why is Vivi still on?
Yes.
Because there was a responsibility to her to help lead Alabasta back.
Yes.
Momo will not be tasked with that responsibility now. You get what I'm saying? He's too young. He's like he said, but he's not of the age of that yet.
What does Momonosuke have that Vivi doesn't?
So Vivi was already a leader.
Hold on. What does Momonosuke have that Vivi doesn't? Scabbards. Literally, Odin was like, yo,
listen,
we need to learn how to run this country together, and you're going to do it with me because I don't know how to do it yet.
Listen, I'm not saying that I can't see a world where Momo doesn't join. I can see that. I can definitely see a world where Momo doesn't join. But I can't see a world where Yamato joins currently. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong about the Momo part of it. We may all be
wrong, and they both don't
I
join.
cannot see Yamato joining right now.
No, I can see that, but the same way, is the same way what you were saying earlier. But I could also see, for example, like you said, it's the beginning of Yamato's story of how it's developing her character, right? Do you think that cannot happen on the Straw Hat crew? Because finding her place, you're like, all right, Wano's in good hands here. Because now, like you said, the whole Gazuki clan. You have the heir right here who you supported, right? So now you help that clan get their dream, and they have Wano now. Now it's time to find one of your own. And yours wants to leave Wano because you want to be adventurous. If the situation was correct for her, she would have left with Ace, Mm-hmm. Now you have someone who's similar to Ace and someone you respect because Ace hyped him up. Ace's younger brother, Ace, is dead. You're not going to take this opportunity and join? And Luffy's not going to ask you? I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying I can see it go either way. But to me, the reason I asked that question in the beginning, I see more of Luffy asking Yamato more than I see him asking Momo.
I can't envision Luffy asking Yamato.
And I don't see, because for example, you see how Carrot, in the beginning, we didn't see Luffy asking Carrot, but Carrot just jumped on the ship. Wano by herself.
She ain't an Akuma.
You don't think Yamato's gonna try and do the same exact thing?
Which was the
No.
same thing that Inu and Neku ended up doing on.
And they did it
And
twice.
And Robin did the
Hold
same.
on.
And Robin did the same thing on the Shogun X crew.
And the Inu and Neku did it twice on Wiper's ship and on Roger's ship, which is why I think she does it again. Which is part of why I think Kara joins. But in general, I don't know, man. I can't see it.
I'm gonna just speak for the audience right now. The fact that like Hidden convinced me, and then it went to Lawrence, and then he convinced me is the reason why I love like talking face to face, bro. Because you wouldn't get this anywhere else. Like this is dope. I'm a fan right now. I'm just listening.
Let me convince you on another possibility. Maybe they both join. Maybe Yamato's character arc becomes training Momo, teaching Momo, helping him grow. Her character arc is tied to his. It's possible because now in the manga we see them. Any panel that Momo's in, he's with Yamato every time. They're together. They're like a package deal at this point.
Who gonna teach her? Cause she ignorant. Hell. That girl don't know nothing.
I just feel like maybe Momo wants to see the world. There was a panel when in the Odin flashback where Momo was a baby, he was a child, and Odin lifts him up and he shows him the ocean and he says, "Look, Momo, this is the world. Look how big it is." And Momo had this like reaction where he was like so astounded by what he was seeing. So like, to me, the idea of him just staying in a country, he lost so much of his life. He lost so many years of his life, and he's just going to spend that, delegating and being a shogun. Just feels a little bit. It feels a little bit depressing for Momo. I mean, I get that he's living up to his dream, but I don't know. I feel like he has to see that world a little bit more.
There's also what the
can I say one
Kozuki
thing?
have to do with the end. Like, Momo has to learn the true history.
Well, hold
Like,
on.
he's
hold
not
on.
going to learn it on Wano, potentially.
But is that his goal, or is opening Wano's borders his goal?
Yeah, but once you open it, then what?
You got to
gotta
deal
open it
with
so people
everything
can
that
leave.
else can flow in, and the country becomes different from what any other shogun has actually done up to this point, besides the previous one, like 800 years ago, during Ryuma's era. So it's like he's going to have to deal with that. That enough is going to need him to be the shogun and lead this country the correct way, where they don't get overtaken. Like, this is a big responsibility that the Scabbards will need to back him up for. You can't imagine somebody like Hiyori or even Yamato staying back and being able to do all this stuff. Like, I don't know. Listen, I agree with you and I agree with you. And it's just like, I don't know who to go with right now, but me personally, I want her to join just because they need another heavy hitter besides just Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. But that's it.
If she joins, it could be cool. I could see. Look, I trust Oda. I know that he's a good enough writer to make it work.
I mean, I sometimes trust Oda.
I know that he's not perfect. He has moments where there's definitely moments where he kind of phones something in, but I do trust him. When Oda's a very big picture guy. He's very good at setting up things and then paying them off later. Slow burn, big payoff. And I feel like with any decision he makes, that's a major decision for the story. Even if at face value it doesn't seem like the right idea because people have their own headcanon and they want it to be what happens. I trust him enough to have it pay off in a good way. If Yamato joins, she will get at least one amazing moment before the end of the series that'll make you like her a lot more. Just like when Robin joined. People wanted Vivi on the crew, and then it wasn't Vivi, and then it was Robin, who no one knew who Robin was. I had a friend that just started One Piece. He's totally blind, has no spoilers, no idea what's going to happen. He's lucky. He's a unicorn. He gets to the end of Alabasta and he's messaging me like angrily. He's like, "Oh man, I hate this arc." He's like, "I can't believe Vivi didn't join. That's like the worst. Who is Robin? Like, I don't care about Robin." He's like, I don't like this character." And I'm like, "You're gonna regret that in 200 chapters." He gets to Water 7 and then he messages me again. He's like, "Dude, I'm sorry." I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Maybe me and Larry were in the minority. I did not want Vivi to join at all. It was like, yo, don't let this girl join. There's no reason for it. When Robin joined, I was like, yes! It was the best thing ever.
And me and Lana were saying that Vivi wasn't going to join. But I will say one thing about the whole Momo thing, and then if you want, we can move on.
Let's move on after that.
Because one thing I will say, but the reason why I say that Momo is going to stay in Wano, because how could you rule or govern a country that you're never in? We've seen that kind of example through Odin. He wasn't there. look what happened. Yes, circumstances were different, but like for example, Momo's in. He's like he doesn't know what's best for Wano now. He's like, do I open up the borders? What if that's the best thing, right? How are you gonna learn that by being out? You need to know your country. Momo hasn't been there enough, and also too, the country doesn't know him. He's been gone for 20 years, and he's a kid. And then part of those years, he was out in the world. So like you spent no time with this country. You're gonna go out again now especially when they're gonna look to leadership. They need a figure of Odin, right? Yamato, he's not that. They need like something is like I see Momo. I don't see this happening and Momo leaving again so soon. Yeah. Because it's like you've been gone for 20 years and then you're in the country. You need to know your country and your country needs to know you.
And that might be why Odin actually sped him up in years.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah. I have one thing to say and then we gotta move on. In a lot of these kingdoms and countries, they will have their heirs to the throne take pilgrimages so that they can learn the world and that other countries, other nations, and things.
But he kind of did that.
He didn't, though.
He went to Dressrosa.
No, he didn't get to do that. Like, he didn't adventure. You know what I'm saying? He was on a mission to bring people back to fight in this war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't get to actually leave. Like, he didn't get to, for a coming to America term, sow his royal oats. But I'm gonna move forward. We did get a super chat. We got a super chat from Hayden.
He's right here. You're right here, man. I'm like, yo, why is this dude giggling?
It might be my favorite super chat yet, but I have to get the David Simmons super chat. It says, I've seen every episode
David Simmons is my cousin, bro.
Yeah, is it? No. I was going to ask you. Anyway, I've seen every episode twice. Love the show, bros. Keep killing it. My question is off topic, but what do you think an awakened Kuma looks like? And is the Paw-Paw Fruit top 5?
Oh, man. Those are... All right, one... You don't need to watch it twice. But if you did,
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Much love.
I appreciate you.
Hey.
Subscriber.
The awakening of the Paw-Paw Fruit, I don't think my imagination is big enough to think actually what it could do to that point, but it would be crazy. Is it top 5? There's hockey out there, bro. And, like, a lot of it has to involve you touching him. And the only projectile we've seen is the
big...
like the...
Compress it down.
The compressing of the air.
For like 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hours, you gotta...
Oh, and then he's like...
He did this one, and then he had the ones where he throws them, and the one where he just shoots it out like this.
Yeah, so... But most of his OP moves happen to be him touching you. You know, like, he can move at speed of light, touch, and, you know, taking out your power, he has to touch you, like the exhaustion levels and stuff. So
my bad.
Remember, you gotta talk with the mic.
We got one more super chat. It's from the Hidden Island. It says Momo's joining.
Yeah. Before I hand it to Lionel, y'all crazy. He's about to push the world as fast as the move speed of light. While y'all on it, throw off people's stage like, what the heck?
I'm gonna be real. I don't know, bro.
Lawrence thinks every single next level ability is like world shaking. Like he's like Law can create a room around the world.
Yeah, you know,
and sustain it.
If you use your imagination though, you can kind of figure out a way to make them all world breaking. Because like think about it, in the real world context, like literally any of these powers are busted.
Yeah.
Like, they're pretty like maybe the zones not so much, just
yeah, kids should be busted before he even does Awakening, but he sucks, you know.
Yeah, like I don't know, with Kuma, you know, it's a pretty good ability. You know, he can pretty much repel anything, and I don't know if there's a limit to the size of what he can repel. Like if there was a meteor coming down, right? Like if Fujitora brought a meteor,
back.
Yeah, he could just do this and then.
Or he could take whatever momentum is thrown at you and then push it back with the same momentum.
Yeah, you can also take the pain out of people's bodies, like repel the pain out of them. Like
it's
who knows what the upper limit is?
I thought of one thing. I thought of two things because the whole thing is repelling. One got kind of dark. I thought of how he repels the damage and repels you. I thought of thinking of, well, maybe you could repel you from the inside, your bones. Yeah, your bones or whatever. Or I even thought of, I actually got it from the Spider-Man movie. Sorry for spoilers. That when he repelled outside his soul, when Peter Parker's soul came out of his body and his body was frozen. Like maybe his awakening that he could probably repel your
push you into an astral
out of your body. Kuma could
man.
probably just push out the hockey, bro.
Or
you remember how Perona was just making you depressed? What if he could just push out your will?
I don't have anything better than astral projection, like pushing you into that plane or propelling.
Or
willpower
even
itself.
like what Par and Hidden was talking about. What if he pushes out your shadow?
I was about to say, yeah. It could be.
Pushes
Top
out
5,
your
yo.
You think it's top 5?
Top 5.
I think we.
Nah,
I think we
it's not
still
top
got
five.
one.
Yo, hold on. If he can like repel someone and just send them somewhere in a bubble, like in Shabandi, right? Can he just like do that and send someone a laugh tail?
I mean, he
Like,
would probably have to he'd have to visit there, right? Because we know he visited Okama.
Lawrence, like that book he has. I think this book is of all the locations. I think all he has to do is probably just read it and just send you there.
If you gave him the coordinates, like if you got the 4 road poneglyphs and you're like, you go to Kuma and you're like, yo, I gotta go, dude.
Is Kuma the key
Smacks you over
to
the
getting
laugh
to
tail.
Rafto?
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. What if he like went up to Kaido and just like hit him into the water? Like hit him to fish
He's
an
a
island.
fish though.
He ain't smart.
We don't know how that works.
I love that everybody was like, yo, why doesn't he just throw himself in the ocean and kill himself? And Oda was like, haha, he can't. Can Kaido swim? Y'all think he can?
Nah, he can't swim. That's probably the only thing he doesn't know how to do. Is swim. Like even if he didn't have the devil fruit, he'd probably still drown. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
It just doesn't seem like he can do everything except
You
swim.
can't picture
like
him
that has to be
swimming?
his gag.
It makes you wonder though, because he was trying to, off
And it-
himself.
Yeah, and his
like,
laugh
why-
sounds like he's drowning.
The thing is, like,
Kaido
it's like,
got
why
to a
didn't he
dark
just jump
place.
into the water though? If Kaido was trying to do what he was trying to do, like where he jumped off the Sky Island, like why didn't he?
Because
just
he
jump
ain't
into the
real.
water?
He
He
ain't
can
serious
swim,
about it.
bro. I'm
Then maybe
telling
that's why.
you.
Yeah.
He's
Hey,
a
do it
fish.
if you're gonna do it, bro. No, that's the wrong message.
Koido.
That's the wrong message, bro. All right. So let's go to the next question. And then we're gonna. If you have any questions, please ask after
Sure.
this one. Yeah. So this pertains to Film Red. Since we found out that Shanks has a daughter in the movie Film Red that's coming out, everyone's been saying how much of a deadbeat he is. Especially since, for a while, we assumed that the child, Makino, was carrying his too, plus Yasop being his crew and etc. I wanted to know who you all thought was the worst father in One Piece.
Ooh.
And we're going to start with Lionel. Jaden Rice, we'll answer it after this one. We'll mention your super chat.
I actually don't believe that she's really Shakes' daughter, but that's a different thing. But the worst father.
Ooh.
I mean, there's a lot, but
The worst.
The worst, bro.
I'm thinking of right now because I have to think of other. But I'm just gonna say it to be quick. Maybe Judge.
Judge?
Yeah, Judge. Because
Judge is a pretty bad
That's a
one.
good one. That's a good
But
one.
I think there's worse, but I can't think of anyone right now. But I'm going with Judge right now.
Because he could have did that experimentation on anybody else, but he chose his own kids.
Yeah,
I get it.
And then the one that didn't go through this, who didn't do good with the experiment, you treat him like trash. So, like,
Yeah.
You're treating your kids like this, and you're.
That's the thing, though. He's shown the element of being a good dad to like the other kids.
Yeah.
I mean, even doing the experiment is kind of like terrible dad territory.
Yeah. Lawrence is going to need more time to think, but Lionel, you're good?
Yeah, I'm going with Judge.
Judge?
Yeah, Judge
Okay.
right now.
Seb.
See, the answer is Judge, but I want to agree with Lionel. So, like, I'm going to go with Don Quixote homing. Just for
Oh my
for the
God,
logic.
bro.
That's just,
Listen, bro, he tried to
it's
do
just-
better for his
Yo,
family.
you got to do better, though. You get what I'm saying? You got to have a plan. You can't. Like, that was
No,
just
bro.
dumb.
That
It
was
was
the
dumb.
that was the wrong
It
answer.
was dumb.
No, look at Lawrence's face. Can you put the camera on Lawrence's face?
Listen, he took his family from like
No,
we're
bro,
made in the
no,
shade,
son,
we're
no.
like
No.
chilling to we eating dirt. My wife is dead. I'm getting killed by my son in front of my other son.
No.
He even said, "I'm sorry for being a bad dad." That was just it was bad work, man.
No,
Judge
he
got his
was-
family living in mansions and. All right, I'm done. But
Thank you.
Holy
It
yeah,
sound
I'm not,
ridiculous.
listen, there's an element of being a bad father there. I need y'all to understand. There's an element of negligence that was terrible
hold
on Homing's
The
part.
only negligence was that he didn't provide for his family the way he needed to. But ultimately, he took them from a spot of perspective mentally and tried to make them better.
Okay, but then take them to that spot before you take them out of their situation. He didn't instill those values into Doflamingo at all. You know what I'm saying? He went, okay, Doflamingo is what he is. I'm gonna bring that kid to the world and expect him to just change.
Well, he's still a child. He can still be morphed into something else.
Dude, you gotta.
I kind of agree with Sebastian. Also,
Yeah,
you know,
you try to do better.
No, but the thing is, you know how do people view you. They hate you. Why are they just gonna accept you?
He might not know that. He might not have known that, which is still that's on him. But he may not have known that.
Listen.
But if he did, it's even worse parenting, bro. What are you talking about?
All right, Lawrence looks like he has an answer. So go, Lawrence.
Okay, so how would y'all put a father that didn't teach their child nothing, right? Abandoned them when he needed them most. Their mother was sick and left them completely for selfish reasons.
Oh wow!
Exactly.
Yeah, it's Yasop.
Thank you.
Yasop over Judge? Yasop over Judge?
No, because at least was
And
Judge.
homie?
No, because like for example, Judge, right? He was a bad father, especially to one, but he provided for all the others.
Yeah.
You know, it's just Sanji because in his mind, he viewed the fear not what he wanted. It's like he was disappointed in his son, right? But yet he still provided Sanji with what he provided with the other kids. You know, treated them poorly, yes, bad, but completely like your mother is sick, right? I mean, your wife is sick, and you have a really young child, and then because the thing is, you abandoned your child. Who was gonna take care of Usopp? Like at least the other ones, they had ones where someone could take care of. Like Dragon left Luffy in Garp's hands, right? And or honestly, Garp probably could have took Luffy away from Dragon. Like you're gonna do what? No, I'm making him to be a Marine. You're gonna be a Marine? No, I'm taking him. You
As
know?
far as we know, Yasop didn't even come back to visit her grave.
Yo,
You know what I'm saying? Or say what's up to
bad
his kid.
husband and bad father.
Maybe he doesn't even know. Maybe he doesn't even know she's dead.
Hey,
Yo, that's
it's not about being a good husband here. It's just about being a bad dad.
So you got
I have
Flamingo's
one-
dad.
Yeah, I have one other thing I want to say. I guarantee you, Dash is watching right now saying, it's Whitebeard!
Yeah, 1,000%. So
Yeah.
you got
Homing,
Homing.
Judge, Yasop.
and Hidden. Go.
I have a joke answer and I have a real answer.
Okay, do both.
Okay, so the joke answer. Well, actually, I'll let you guys decide which one is the joke and which one's the real. Captain Morgan. Because Captain Morgan is a terrible human being, and I think anyone who lets their son go out in public with that haircut should be court-martialed and shot. The real answer, it's technically not even a father, I guess, in this context, but Garp, I feel like is a pretty bad father. So I'm gonna just say whatever he did to Luffy, I'm gonna assume he also did to Dragon. That's how I'm gonna tie him into this, even though he's a grandfather. If someone threw their kid into the jungle, like that would be on the news. Like that would be a problem. You know, like. I don't know, man. I feel like Garp, he's a good guy at heart, but he has some methods that are very questionable, and I surely would I would not want him to babysit my kids. So,
See, Garp's favorite game was Tekken. That's what it was.
He's a Hahachi. He's a Hahachi.
Kind of looks like him, too.
Yeah.
You want me to get to Jaden's super chat?
I got two. A big piece of me wants to say Roger.
I knew.
Yo, I knew it.
If Roger was, I don't remember the timelines too well, but if Ace was in the contention of being born before he died, before that year happened, there probably would have been sort of a big difference if he could have spent at least 6 to 7 months within Ace's life where he's able to at least remember him a tiny bit, and it would have caused the future of One Piece to decide who's actually Joy Boy, like we say, right? Sabo, Ace, or Luffy, if yada yada. But that's unacceptable. I can't think that a 7-month-old is gonna remember their father, right? Yeah. So what I would say, it got to be Dragon for me, bro.
Oh man,
Dragon
over our top choices.
Listen, man, Dragon is non-existent. He's nope. At least Shanks is visiting his daughter. At least Garp is there to like hang out with Luffy and tell him about.
We missed one.
Yes, I just reminded you.
Dragon's just not there.
Because he said dragon. How is Kaido not on this list?
Yeah.
And Sabo as well. Sabo was
I
there.
thought so.
Kaido
was
has
there.
literally starved, beaten, locked away his daughter. Like,
You know what
And
it
the
is?
fact that
Hold on,
it's
hold
a
on,
dog.
hold on.
He doesn't
Hold
call
on,
it.
hold on.
He just really doesn't want her to join the crew. I think that's what it is.
This is that too. The speculation that I have is like even if Luffy got caught and impelled down and had to stay there, Dragon would have never came
he's
through. You know what I'm saying? No, Dragon would have never did.
He saw Luffy off.
Yeah, remember you saw Luffy at Long Time.
He didn't even see him off for real.
Yo,
He just
Dragon
pulled up.
cares more about Sabo than he does Luffy, bro.
I mean, there's a deeper bond there.
that's your fault.
Ivankov,
That is his fault. That's totally his fault.
Ivankov, who knew Dragon best, said, "Oh, this is like if this is Luffy and Ace's Dragon's son because they're brothers."
Knew Dragon.
He said that Dragon's going to be coming out to save his son. He's not going to let his son die.
LOL.
I guess.
Ivankov knew that.
Listen, bro. I guess. But to me, Dragon don't look like the type of dude to actually care about his familial relations. But he's like, yo, if there's a Celestial, I'm in. You know what I'm saying?
So like, this country needs help. My son needs help. Nah. This country. That's what you're trying
My
to say.
son will be all right. This country needs me. I can create a poll.
Yo, Dragon is Lawrence, bro.
I would be there for my kid.
Hold on.
Oh
Disrespect.
my God, the accuracy.
Lawrence is like the type of dude is like, if you can't fend for yourself and you're my child, then you're not worthy.
He's not.
That's how Lawrence is.
He's not Dragon. He's Garp. That's what he is. He's Garp.
All right, so
Garp was there. I would
Just
be
to add-
there.
hold on, let him talk.
Just to add some positivity to the
Kingdom of Best Dad.
let's give a shout out to some good fathers in One Piece. Gang Beige, great father, big father in
Yes.
Nah, bro.
Big father.
Hold on.
Kinemon.
No.
Not even a real dad.
Beige wanted to kill a Yonko while his kid is there, and he knew his kid would die
fact. Just to
if
protect
they
his kid.
lost.
Yo,
I mean,
love will make
senior
you do
pick.
crazy things.
Hold on. He was
Send your
his
thing.
game plan was to kill that Yonko before he even had the kid. He was just following through. You're telling him to switch it up. Now the kid is born. Nah, man.
He's a good father. He's present.
That's what good fathers do. They switch up their bad ways for the betterment of somebody else.
I'll be real. I want Beige to be my dad.
What are you drinking on?
All right. He's like 5'2".
What?
And like you would have had a beard by like 6 months.
Yeah,
I mean, that's fine.
Did he give his son a cigar too?
No. It was like a biggie.
I like
With a cigar.
cigars.
Not at that age.
I'm not against cigars. That would have been dope.
He just want to join the gang.
Yo,
That's
he's
all.
legit
He
gonna
wants to
put.
wear a suit.
He didn't want to be a gang member. That's
Yeah,
what it
yeah,
is,
he's
bro.
legit putting his kid's life in danger.
Listen, his kid's life was always in danger. He's living on a Yonko's island. And it's Big Mom as the Yonko. Judge won the poll, by the way. Yasop came in second. Homing and Garp tied for third at 6%.
Wow.
It's okay. We have to get the contrarian answers in there just so that we can.
All right, so let's move on to the next topics.
We have like 3 super chats.
Oh, read the super chats then.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom while you guys do that.
Yeah, do your thing.
He's going to go call his dad.
Yeah, I gotta go call.
It was just for the show, Dad. It was just for the show.
You're being replaced.
All right, we got a hidden chat. Wow. We got a super chat from Jaden Rice. Again, thanks, man.
Jaden, keep your money, bro. What are you doing?
It says, I think that Kuma's ability to repel non-tangible things is his awakening. Starts off with only physical, then gets non-physical when awakened. So you think his Devil Fruit is already awakened because he already like pushed away the pain out of somebody.
That could be.
Non-tangible.
Oh my God, Jaden.
Come on, man.
He's like, don't tell me what to do. You're not my dad.
Beige is my dad. That is such a wild answer.
You guys have anything on the Kuma?
No.
Okay. Sorry. Next chat from Ronor Chris, $5 super chat. It says, Seb, we literally agree on everything except Zoro versus Sanji. Dofi's father is the worst. I'm trying to tell them, man.
Listen, Chris, I like you a lot, bro,
Listen.
but don't be agreeing with Sebastian. Bro. You ain't gonna be right.
Chris, we don't even disagree on Zoro versus Sanji because ultimately you think Zoro's stronger and so do I. So we on there, bro. We also got another $5 super chat from Kevin Salinas.
Thank you, Kev.
Do you think Luffy is half Lunarian and the world government hunting them and killing them off is what drives Dragon to overthrow them. That's a good one.
So I saw that theory from O'Hara, and I didn't like it too much because there was a lot of stretching. So I don't think Luffy being Lunarian is true at all. Because then, again, that goes back to the whole...
He's everything.
He's everything. Like, he's literally Ichigo. Yeah. It's one of the downfalls of Ichigo. And it's like... It's the problem... It's why we... For me, why I have a problem with Gear 5, right? Because Gear 5 represents everything that Luffy has done up to this point as meaning... As it's like nothing. You know? Like, he's earned his way to this point. Like, it was never considered like him doing what he's doing is of he just earned it, you know? Like, he fought his way, he willed his way to a certain point so that he can be who he is. Mm-hmm. Whereas Gear 5 now makes him feel like, you know, he's always had it. So if we add him being Lunarian now too, it adds even more to he was destined to be this person, or he's the only person who could do this. Like, we need variety. We need a myriad of people who could possibly obtain these great achievements. Like, we can't just specifically depend on one character throughout the show to accomplish all of these great things. It doesn't make it feel any different from any other shonen that we've ever watched, you know? So him being Lunarian too, it would just go back to Sanji, and I'm so sick of Sanji, bro. Just be your own person.
The question was, do you think Luffy is half Lunarian?
No.
And the world government is is the world government hunting them all down? Is the world government hunting them and killing them off what drives Dragon to overthrow them? I guess it's two questions.
I think maybe I'm still with the idea that Nika might have been a Lunarian because he has the flaming head and all that.
Yeah, I agree
don't
with
think
that.
Luffy is. I feel like if it were anything, it would be Nika in the fruit would make Luffy have the properties of a Lunarian, maybe. But even then, Luffy doesn't get any wings. So I don't know if all the Lunarians had wings or not. We don't know. But as far as we can tell, they did. And I don't really think Luffy has any Lunarian DNA. Same thing with Sanji. I don't really think he would have any Lunarian DNA either. There's a lot of characters in One Piece, and this is something that goes back to bringing up my man Parvision again. But he has this video on elemental hockey, and he talks about how there's a lot of characters in One Piece that don't necessarily have any connection to the Lunarians. They have fire powers. There's I think it's Charlotte Capote, or I don't remember which Charlotte it was. I keep forgetting this one. So forgettable. She has fire powers. She doesn't have a devil fruit. She doesn't have any ability that lets her use fire. She just can do it. Same like Sanji. So
Thunderlord McGuy, he just like sparks lightning on his sword. Like there's people out there.
Yeah, there's ways to get around the whole devil fruit thing. I feel like devil fruits are an answer to how people are able to do things in the One Piece world, but it's not the only answer. There's hockey, and then there's just weird stuff like the painting ability in Little Garden.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's ways around that.
So I agree with you for the most part. I do disagree with the Sanji part. I do think he probably has some sort of Lunarian DNA just because of the testing and the phrasing of Queen's statement and things. But I could be wrong. Did you guys have something for Luffy being a Lunarian? I don't think he is either. Personally.
Nah, I don't think he is at all. Because also he didn't show any characteristics himself of being a Lunarian. Also too, like I kind of was under the belief that like, because how weak Luffy started off in the show, that's why I believe he earned a lot of his stuff. It wasn't given to him, and now he's realizing more and more of his potential. That's why he's getting this much strength because of his mainly, like I said before, his will and determination to achieve his goal is so strong that it's catching up.
Yeah.
So like it's actually
his actual strength is finally catching up to his will.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's why Luffy's going as strong as he is because of his will has always been top notch from the beginning. This all like we saw before. It took so long just for Luffy's will to be broken at Marineford. This is how much it took, showing how strong he was. Where most people have their will broken or kind of defeated early on, because not like that was the first time Luffy lost. Luffy keeps coming back. His will isn't like, all right, but I'm not dead. All right, I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm rubber. Like I'm keep coming back. It all took that where he lost someone very dear to him that he should have been able to save in his eyes. And also it was his fault. So I don't believe that it was his. And Dragon seen so much, I feel. I'm not saying he knows the history, but He probably knows the record of how much the world government is just taking out. They're killing off Lunarians, they're killing off D's. They had the war. It's a lot with the government. They're just kind of killing off races for their own selfish reasons. So all this build up is just like they need to get stopped. The world government. So that's why I think what's driving Dragon, and not so much as just that their families are Lunarian D.
Yeah, you guys, bro. You better start
Thank you
keeping
for the super chat,
monkey.
guys.
Yeah, no, good.
I was going to say the same thing, pretty much what Lauren said, but I think didn't they classify the Lunarians having dark skin and white hair?
Yeah,
Like I think that's like I'm not saying all of them,
And
but
they sexy. Because
I
King is
King's a
fire,
good looking
bro.
dude.
They mentioned
No
the wings.
homo.
They mentioned the wings
mentioned the
too.
wings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, like,
Pause,
Tall,
bro.
dark hands.
Yeah, he's the Morris Chestnut of One Piece.
He came out like,
Glistening. He was glistening in the light, bro.
yeah, so yeah, those characteristics, and Luffy didn't show any of them, like not even one. So I'm thinking like, and I don't know if like, we know for a fact Lunarians have wings, but I don't know if it's classified that they're supposed to be dark skinned and with white hair. Now, if all of them are like that, besides the
white
wings,
hair now.
I'll tell you
Well,
this,
he had-
bro.
yeah.
Which
he does.
is
Which is
more
like the
proof
fire thing,
positive
right?
of the potential
Yeah.
that Joy Boy or Nico was.
Which goes into Hidden's theory is that, the fruit itself can be traces
Yeah.
of.
what if
Let me just say that's crazy because it took you guys to even make me realize this. But I always thought like, oh well, maybe Nika wasn't a Lunarian because he didn't have the wings; he just had the flaming hair. But the flaming hair is white now, as far as we know. So that could also be like another tell that maybe he was.
Listen,
We
bro, he
got-
better hope Zoro don't see him like that. It's going to be a lot of racism going
We
down.
got two more super chats. This is not the captain. We got another one.
He ain't my captain.
That's not the captain I follow.
We got two more super chats.
So
One
change
from
up.
another one from Jaden Rice. $2. Thank you so much. It says, "I just want a dad. I don't care which one." I think you
too,
care,
bro, me
man.
too.
I don't know if you want some of these dads in One Piece to be your dad, man.
Yeah.
And the other one was from Brennan Contrell. It says, "What y'all think about Dragon being ex-military?"
Thank you for the super chat.
Seriously.
Ex-military, maybe. I mean, there's been noise of that with him and Akainu possibly knowing each other and possibly growing up because they're the same age. And Garp might have thrown him into the Marines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, it's a possibility. Do I think it's true? Probably not.
Well, I feel like in the One Piece world, right, there's like two major factions. It's the Marines and the Pirates. If you're not either of them, you're a civilian, basically. And the Revolutionaries are like this new third faction that kind of started up because of Dragon. But then you have to ask the question, right? Well, before Dragon, there was no revolutionaries. So what was Dragon doing? He's Garp's kid. He had to have been doing something, right? Like he's a strong guy. He's capable. If he was a pirate, he would probably be regarded as a pirate, regardless of whether or not he was a revolutionary. He would be referred to as like the legendary pirate, Monkey D. Dragon, or some sort of... There would be some reference to him having been a pirate at some point, I feel like.
That's true.
But on the other end, if he was a Marine, it would make sense why we haven't heard much of that. Because they obviously... The world government wouldn't want people to know that one of their own is now starting the Revolutionary Army, like doing all this stuff. So it would be more in line with their typical behavior to cover that up. It would make sense if he was part of the world government in some capacity. I could see him having been a Marine. If he is Garp's son, and it's not Garp's, like, because we never heard whether or not Garp's child is Dragon or he had a daughter that married Dragon. We still don't know if he's biologically related to Garp. But let's say he was. We saw what Garp did with Luffy. He wanted him to be a Marine. I wouldn't be surprised if he did the same thing with his own son.
Right.
Dragon could have been a Marine, and what a better place to see the faults of the world than to be first, be taking part in it. I wouldn't be surprised if Dragon was, as in the Marines, he was forced to do some unsavory things he wasn't proud of.
Smoker vibes.
Yeah, smoker vibes.
yeah.
But like to the next level where like he was part of some really messed up shit and he had to make a decision. He's like, am I gonna stick around here? Am I gonna take part in this anymore? He probably decided to change that. So that's where I feel like Dragon makes the most sense prior to the Revolutionaries. Pirate, I don't know. But
Yeah.
Dragon's basically Shunsui from Yu Yu Hakusho, but in a more positive way.
Yeah, hey. Is he positive though? No.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't know. Ivankov is doing some dark stuff, man. That's all I'm saying. Some dark stuff.
Some weird stuff.
some violent stuff. So I always like looking at the ages of certain time frames that happened, and that's a good point because do you know when the Rocks and Roger Pirates fought? I always go by Dragon's age. I think he was around 18 years old.
When that happened?
Yeah, he was. So I'm not saying he met rocks or whatever, but at a young age, he's seen a lot already. Like I don't know if he was there or not, but he knows a lot to a degree.
Yo, how old is Dragon? Honestly,
He's like 38, isn't he?
No,
he can't be 38.
With Dragon?
Yeah.
They're the same age as Kano, 55.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 55 years old. So like that's what I'm thinking. Like, and so Kano was obviously like same age, 18. So I'm thinking like, if an instant he was with the Marines, like I could kind of see it because
Maybe he was there.
Or
Well, God's Valley was 38 years ago.
Yeah, 38 years
Oh,
ago.
that's what I was trying to say.
Oh, yeah. So 38. So I'm thinking like I was trying to picture what was he doing during that time. Like again, because you had Garp was around, Roger was around, like all these big heads, Kaido, Big Mom, like they're around and you're with them. Like you're 18 years
He's
old.
part of that generation.
Yeah. So
in a
like.
way.
So I'm trying to think like what was he doing? Like was he watching and seeing, observing? Because we don't know when he became a revolutionary. We don't again he's a mystery, so we don't know. So I'm thinking him being a Marine or him being like just trying to find an answer in the world, or
He could have been an admiral for all we know.
Yeah.
You know, like, let's say he does have some crazy logia. People think he has like a wind logia or some weather-related thing. That would have fit right in with the admirals. And the admirals have to answer directly to the celestial dragons. That might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. So
I think an admiral's a little too high. That's too high of notoriety for nobody to know what he is or who he is, and for him to have been a former admiral. But
we don't know the other admirals.
anything's possible, man. We did get another super chat. From Skirt Charlie, which is an amazing name. It's a $5 super chat. It says, do you think current manga Luffy could defeat all the Straw Hats at once?
We had this conversation, and I think it was before Gear 5 was introduced, and it was, does Luffy win against Zoro and Sanji, like before Gear 5 was introduced? Mm-hmm. And now that he has Gear 5,
could he beat all of them?
I don't know. He's still getting washed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still getting one-shotted by Kaido. Like, there's been no real difference besides, like, the weird properties of his devil fruit happening. And, like, he is able to grab lightning now, and I don't know what that entails. So
Nami's ineffective.
Listen, I've said it before. I think I'll say it again. I think he still beats Zoro and Sanji by himself. But if you add in, like, Jinbei... I think it would be a little too much, but he definitely one-shot most of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nami's going down, Robin's going down, Chopper's going down, Usopp's going down, Frankie going down, unfortunately. It'd really come down to, like, you know, Jinbei, Sanji, and Zoro.
Yeah, and I'm going to try to make this quick because we're trying to get the calls right.
Yeah,
but,
we get the calls.
Essentially, Jinbei's the X factor here to me.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Zoro and Sanji are going to put in the heaviest work, but Jinbei manipulating water could be, like, the key to them surviving something like this. Because, like, Toon Luffy doing crazy stuff, bro. Like, he's literally
doing weird stuff.
Doing,
he might even be able to grab water and turn it into whatever he wants at this point.
I'm not,
Toon power is just too crazy.
He might could, bro. Like, I honestly don't know if he couldn't, but...
There's still a lot we don't know. And even Luffy doesn't know.
Yeah.
We know, so...
The fact that when they land on him, it could still do damage. Like, Zoro can still do real damage. I think Sanji could probably still do real damage. Jinbei using water... in general, should negate devil fruit powers in general.
I don't think Sanji would be able to touch him.
Sanji fast, bro.
I think he's fast, but I don't think that he's gonna be able to touch him like if Luffy if Luffy future sights him and Sanji tries to do some type of kick and Luffy just conquers coding, he's not gonna be able to touch Luffy. He's not going to be able to add that heat to that.
But that's the case that everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Except
Zoro is slower than Sanji is.
I know, but Zoro at least can, you know, be able to try to connect with him. Like, try to hit him.
I think the question is better asked, do you think that all the Straw Hats combined, except for Luffy, could take on Kaido? And I think the answer to that would be no.
I think it's coming.
Nah.
I think the answer is no.
I still think it's no, too. I agree with him.
So if that's the case, if Luffy's handling Kaido pretty well right now in Gear 5, I think Luffy would be able to handle his entire crew. He's like a
Kaido's getting hit willingly. You know what I'm saying? Like, Luffy's not going to be... Luffy's not going to be like, all right, hit me. You know? He's going to be dodging.
Is he going to be able to punch Usopp in the face?
Also, I did...
Mentally?
I did have a question I wanted to ask you guys before we get to the calls, but I don't know how much time we have, so I don't want to...
Oh, we got half an hour.
30.
We got half an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys think you could give, like, a quick answer?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Who do you think is another character in the story who might have a D in their name that we don't know about yet?
You want to go, Lawrence, since you didn't answer the last question?
A character we don't know.
Yeah.
Now, who's a hidden D in the story right now?
Who's hiding D? Oh man,
Dang,
that's a hard question.
Yeah,
too.
That is a hard
That's a good question. You want to go?
Lionel, you have one?
It's kind of a joke though, but I would say Sama.
Yeah, that's where I was going to. But I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, that could be something.
Like the whole time they're dangerous and the Marines are against world government, yet their friend who's sitting on the throne is the D the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, that would be kind of throwing like, oh wow, like.
I have the perfect answer. Keep going. My bad.
No, I want to hear it. What's up?
I think it would be the Kazuki clan. I think the entirety of the Kazuki clan would be D members, at least cousins.
Interesting. That's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah, because they're the only other clan or family that happens to be able to control the voice of all things. No other. We've only ever seen D members as well do that, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say the Kazuki clan, all of them.
Interesting.
Not all of them, but like probably the heads, like the same way the D clan has heads.
No, I mean that's a good idea. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe like Toki. Toki wasn't originally a Kozuki.
She's probably one
She
of
was
the
an
most
Amatsuki.
broken mysteries in the show.
That was who I was going to say.
You're gonna say Toki?
Yeah, because she wasn't originally a Kozuki, and I think maybe she was Toki D, whatever. And
She was an Amatsuki. That was her family
so
name.
maybe. But beyond that, Bonnie maybe. I think we got
Oh
her.
my god.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No,
There's a
Bonnie,
theory
bro.
that
There's
Bonnie could be
something-
Luffy's
There's
mom.
a theory about everything with Bonnie. Everything.
There's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
with Bonnie because she
There's-
can change her age, and she likes to eat. Maybe she's Luffy's mom.
There's
you know?
some sort of backstory there that's not touched yet. She could be a hidden D. That's throwing stuff to the wind there though. Like I'm not
Yeah, there's not enough on
in
her.
that.
The Law, did you think of anything?
I don't really got anyone. The only I can think is maybe when we reach dang it,
He's saying kid.
Elbaf.
Elbaf. Ooh, okay, Loki
maybe,
or something.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe I was thinking the king of them. Maybe, but that's
A
I don't know.
possibility too.
I feel like there's two characters that come to mind for me, and it's Shanks and Kid. I know these are like commonly thought to be D's, but one of the big reasons I think so
Is Kid commonly?
I feel
Is
like
there
he
two
is, yeah.
D's in the name, kid, or is it just the one?
It's
I don't
two.
It's
remember.
one.
I remember there being.
See, I always
it's one.
ask, and I always get two
It's
different
always
answers.
two.
I think the real
I never-
kid, like the real pirate kid that he's based off of, had two D's. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, but the One Piece one doesn't. One reason that I think that is just because they're like highly influential people, and the D clan is like all members of the D clan make waves in the world, and both Shanks and Kid are very, very tenacious characters who have a lot of influence. And Kid gets stuff done. Kid does a lot of crazy stuff. He's Shanks, like, you know. But another reason I think so is that the D clan, out of all the members that we've seen, genetically they seem to have one thing or two things in common. They either have black hair or they have red hair. All the D clan members we've seen have black or red hair. Saul had red hair. Rouge had red hair.
Is that red?
It's like orange, but they're
Yeah,
redheads.
okay,
They're
I get you,
redheads,
I
you
get
know.
Yeah.
And then all the other D clan members had black hair. So I feel like Kid and Shanks both are redheads, and you know that might play into that. That there could be some sort of like shared genetics between all the D clan members.
Yeah.
I'm with
know.
all that.
But the
honestly.
top three supernovas all being D's.
That would, it would kind of make
Oda
sense,
likes
wouldn't it?
threes, bro.
No, because I think of like Rocks, Roger, you know, and now you have like Luffy, Blackbeard, Law, and Kid.
I'm gonna be real, bro. Kid don't got that.
I don't think he does.
He don't even got like Congress hockey from what we know of, even though he has it. You know what I'm saying? It's alright.
Why are you such a hater?
Yo, cause Kid is so trash, bro.
We got it. Before we get to calls, we got another super chat from Alex DeHart. It's not exactly a question. It just says Shanks D Zebek. So I guess the question is Shanks?
Yeah, that's a popular
Zebek's,
theory that's still running
son.
around.
I thought I was.
Well, it would
Blackbeard.
be Rocks D Shanks, wouldn't it? Because the last name comes first. The family
Yeah,
name comes
yeah.
first.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rocks D Shanks is possible. That's still on the table, guys.
Hidden one's like, get your grammar correct.
Yeah, come on.
Don't be bashing our super chat.
Is it
I'm here for you.
Luffy D Garp? Come on.
Oh man. I don't know if I subscribe to Shanks being Rox's son, but just because it's so like called, like so many people have said it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know.
It's like one of those theories that you just
You just want to
hear
hate
all
on
the
it.
time. Yeah, you just want to hate on it.
But the Zebek though sounds better to me. Zebek D Shanks. It has a nice floats are different.
Now that's just a total backwards order. Then
I mean, no, 'cause,
I'm
like,
gonna get on you for that.
Well, you can bash him if you want.
No, but the thing is, like, because it threw me off because, like, you have
He said my
Monkey D.
bad
Garp.
in the
You know?
chat.
Monkey D. Garp. Then you have Trakovar D. Law. Like, it would be the other way around. It would be Law D. Trakovar. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's usually the verse. That's the first time I'm seeing it where Zebek is not the actual last name. It's Rocks.
Yeah.
Because that's how I always thought. It's a Rocks or Zebek. Because if you go by Marshall D. Teach, it's not Teach, it's Marshall. So,
Yeah, the family name comes first in
Japanese.
in Japan.
Yeah.
So that's how they lay out. So Rocks is the family name. Yeah, that's an interesting point, right?
Yeah.
Because no one calls Roger. They don't call him Goal. They call him Roger.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's a good point to make, though.
Yeah, that
I
is a
agree
good
with that.
point.
He's the
Look at
only
Wano.
one. He's the only one that's referred to by his family name.
All right, so the dude that you made fun of says sorry. In the chat.
He said my bad.
Sorry,
Ironically,
no.
his name is Alex
No, I'm just-
D. Hart.
I'm busting. Man, anyone that knows me knows I'm a ball buster. I'm not. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to apologize about that.
All right, Marv, let's do calls, man. Let's start calls early. I want to hear people call and ask hidden some stuff. Jeez. Yo, I gotta go to the banyo, bro.
Call in, yo. Oh man, you be on these 2-hour episodes. You gotta work on that. Bladder,
Listen, bro. Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
What's up, Larry? It's Trick. How my boys doing?
Trey!
In the building.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Can't wait for this post-show party. But I got 2 quick things for y'all.
Okay.
First off, base best dad. So move past that. And secondly, I got money on the line with Jay that either we get a Kaido awakening this week or a hint of an awakening, whatnot. Do you think I'm winning my money, or am I going to owe Jay $10?
I think you're winning your money. I'm on the same page. I think at the end of the chapter, we're going to get Kaido's silhouette. He's going to be like, all right, time to awaken. And then he's going to go into his awakening mode, and we're going to get our break, and we're not going to see the awakening until after the break.
Sounds like
That is Oda to a T. I am with you.
I think you losing money, dog.
$5.
I think
Oh,
you're
no,
losing
yeah, I
money.
got bad. You all
I will
bad?
Venmo you if I'm wrong.
I think you're losing money, bro. I don't think Kaido awakens. I think all right, so I know that Gear 5 seems like it's super, like, gonna go out fast. I think it's gonna last for, like, at least 4 more chapters. Like, whatever's happening, and then the fight still... I think it's still up in the air if Luffy's gonna lose again. You know what I'm saying? Like, Luffy could lose again.
Yeah.
And then, like, he has to refight Kaido.
It's just like everywhere else in the story that someone has talked about awakenings. It usually happens like right after they talk about it. And this last chapter, Kaido was literally lecturing Luffy on how awakenings work.
Right.
And it's like if he's doing that now, he's gonna start doing it himself soon. He's gonna be like, okay, you awaken your devil fruit, cool. I'm gonna awaken mine because he's on the last ropes. I feel like it's coming, man. It's not gonna happen next chapter. We're not gonna see what it looks like next chapter, but we're gonna get it.
Right.
Or it's gonna start next chapter.
Do y'all count that and in your bet? Like, if there's a silhouette
Yeah,
of
yeah,
him
yeah,
awakening?
yeah,
If
like
there's any Kaido
That's
awakening
accounted for,
at all.
Yeah,
That counts?
If he
Oh, okay.
starts the transformation at the end of this next chapter, and then we see what he looks like, the chapter after that, I feel like that's what I'm predicting. I think that's gonna happen.
Okay. What about you, Law?
So I was gonna actually bring that up. Like, would y'all be disappointed if Kaido was already awakened? Because hear me out. I'm not saying he
who would
is.
win?
What I'm trying to say is like, all right. So we see that Zohan's is transformations. So most likely their awakening is going to be a transformation like Luffy's. But since how we got that Kaido's fruit was the fish. What if he started out like we think they're good to Pokemon? That he awakened into the dragon. So that means he would be an awakened already. Would y'all be disappointed if that was the case for Kaido?
Yeah, because then he'd receive the Big Mom treatment. Where she's at her most powerful against
crazy.
people that aren't that strong.
That's
The only
more
reason-
impressive for Kaido.
The only reason I don't believe that is because he has a hybrid form. He has a hybrid form of him being a dragon. He doesn't have a
it's not a
hybrid form
hybrid
of a fish. So
Okay.
if he was a fish, if he awakened into a dragon, there would be no in between. It would just be he awakens his fruit, he becomes a dragon. Just like Luffy awakens his fruit, he becomes the Sun God Nika Gear 5 form. So
Oh my
because
God.
there's no because there's a hybrid, I feel like there's no awakening yet.
So that goes to my next thing. All right, if it's another transformation, what's next after a dragon? a bigger dragon, a different type of dragon, a three-headed
He just
dragon.
be a fish with arms, bro.
I think
You gotta start looking for like.
what did
Yu-Gi-Oh!
what did Will Smith? Not Will Smith. What did Will Ferrell say? Where he was like, "These fish come with apparatuses and they know how to walk on land."
I'm a 200-pound tuna.
So me and Parvision were talking about this last night. What we thought his awakening could be.
What is it?
And there's like 4 cardinal deities in Asian culture, and one of them is the blue dragon. There's also like the white tiger and all this stuff. So there's 4. And at the center though, there's one deity that like commands all of them, and it's a gold dragon. It's not the blue dragon is one of the 4, but there's a gold dragon that kind of presides over all of them. So if he has an awakening, maybe he goes from blue to gold. And then
gonna
there's
be
a big
real.
Is that in
power.
Eastern lore?
That would be dope. Do you think Dragon Balls are like flying around him too?
Yeah, Shenron. There was gold Shenron, right? Your Omega Shenron.
That's what that's. I'm pretty sure that's what that's based on. So I could see him being like an even stronger dragon, bigger, more jacked. I could see him just getting a straight upgrade in every way.
No way Luffy winning at
Rock the
that.
Dragon starts playing.
Rocky
Oh
Dragon.
my god.
What about you, Lino?
You are the last dragon.
I kind of agreed with Lawrence because like in the beginning I thought the fish fruit too, but like that's a good point you made. Like that there'll be no in between because I always started thinking, is Luffy gonna have like he's in gear 5 more at his peak? So I'm thinking, is he gonna start also combining his other gears with his gear 5? I don't even know if that's even possible. I don't know if he can do that because like Luffy, even though he's at his peak, he looks like he's still in base. He's just a different color, and his hairs look different. So I'm thinking, like, what is Kyle's awakening gonna be like? Like going to go dragon, but what's gonna add to his power? Like because like I come all down for Kyle doing awakening, and also we had that conversation that like awakenings, with Zohans you become that creature and you lose your mind. The only person we could think that who has a strong enough will, and plus he's not even human, would be able to control his awakening would be Kaido. Like he's the 100 beast, he's the king of beasts. So like anyone who's going to control awakening would be him. It makes sense. So I definitely want Kaido to have an awakening, and I definitely want it to him whip it out. But like Lawrence doesn't put whipping it out now because we all think Luffy's going to lose and everything. Like I wonder if it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen. I'm definitely think it's going to happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen at this time. Like maybe later on. Later on. I'm hoping, but I don't think it's going to happen now. Like at the moment.
All right. What about you, Trick? Did you have a answer of your own?
So I was either on the train of the golden dragon or that Kaido's already awakened and all this kind of weird stuff that we've seen with his drunken forms and his weird stretchy neck, like kind of half hybrid, half full beast mode. It could just be Oda and his animation style kind of being hard to read, but I think it's one of the two. Either we're getting something godly or he's already at that level.
I agree with you, brother.
I just want to say, Trick, you the man. And if I had to guess, you know it. And if I had to guess, I'd say that he just taps into that they said for the Impel Down guards, so they're awakened Zoans where they have that like the beast took over. I think he would just toe the line where like he's just crazy carnal, kind of the beast version of him, which we saw a little bit when he was bashing on Yamato, but it would just be something that would highlight it more. But I'm simple-minded. I don't have the imagination that y'all have. So.
I don't want to ever hear Carnal involved with Kaido personally.
Hey, man. He has a daughter. That's what I'm saying. But Trick, appreciate you, man.
Yeah, thank you, Trick.
Thank you for calling in, bro. Thank you that was a great question.
Yeah.
Love you guys. You have a good one.
You too.
You too, man.
This guy.
Hey, he already blew a kiss at Luffy. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
Stop it.
He off that sauce, man.
Hey, what's going on? This is Larry from that One Piece Talk. Who are you and how are you?
What's going on, fellas? It's Aaron Tate.
I knew he was gonna get it.
My guy, Aaron. What's up, Aaron?
Aaron calls in every show.
How y'all
I don't know
doing?
how he gets on the line.
I actually had 2 things I wanted to bring up, but I don't think I have enough time. So I wanted to make my case and bring bring up the whole father conversation y'all were having earlier. 'Cause I feel like y'all are a little too harsh on the absent fathers. So I wanted to come on here and make my case. So, the reason why people like Yasop and Dragon, and I guess now Shanks and stuff like that, the reason why I feel like they're not terrible fathers, especially in comparison to fathers like Kaido, Judge, Big Mom, because I think we underestimate the world of One Piece when we're trying to compare it to real life. So, children of One Piece are like teenagers in real life, like 8-year-olds, 9-year-olds. They're really like grown enough to be able to take care of themselves in a way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
2, I feel like Oda does a good job of embodying the idea that it takes a village to raise a child, because every child who was quote unquote abandoned by their father, where do we see them? Amongst the village of of everybody that actually knows them, right? Like Nami, Luffy, Usopp, like they're not left alone without anyone to care for them. You always have people in the village looking out for them. 3, I feel like those who have absent fathers actually grow to be better people than the ones that have their fathers in their lives. So you look at Sanji, right? Like he basically ran away from home, but he turned out to be a better human being than literally everybody in his family who stayed. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
That's because of Zeph, though.
Yeah.
Nah, he was already
he-
supposed to be like the kindest of them all, kind of thing, even just from his mom's input.
So, I don't know if you're finished.
but-
I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry. I do have a very big point to make about this. So whenever, I mean, I'll leave it to you, but I do want to answer this because this is big to me.
Yes. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I actually am making one of my videos I have currently planned is a video about Whitebeard, and Whitebeard is my favorite character in One Piece because of the way he's written around being a father for all these pirates who have a lack of guidance or a lack of fathership in their life. And this also connects to me, my personal experience. I don't want to be bringing the stream down or anything like that. I grew up without a father present in my life for most of my life, and it had a very big impact on me. So when I read Marineford for the first time, I went through Marineford for the first time and experienced Ace's story about his lack of a father and how he felt pressured by his dad. Without him even being there, he kind of regretted the circumstances of his birth, and then found a father within Whitebeard. That character has a very, very deep connection for me, and I don't know, man. I feel like even in the real world, like young kids sometimes are given a lot of responsibility. I had to be the man of the house when I was 8, 9 years old. And you'd be surprised at what kids are capable of when they're in a situation where they have to look out for themselves. You know, kids are. I feel like a lot of people underestimate kids these days, and I'm not trying to put your point down. I do think that what you're saying is completely valid. I just think that there is a big point in One Piece about the lack of a father and the lack of guidance in a world that's so chaotic. And I'm going to talk about this a lot in my video. I don't want to spoil the whole video. It's a big analysis. It's very personal for me. I just want to put out there that I do think that there is a point that Oda is trying to make about having a father, and it connects directly to inherited will. And it doesn't necessarily have to be your biological father, because we have Sanji, like in the example you gave with Judge. He did have a father, but it wasn't Judge. Judge was not his father. In blood he was, but in reality it was Zeph that brought Sanji. He made Sanji the man he is. The things we love about Sanji did not come from Judge. They did not come from genetics. They came from Zeph. These were lessons that Zeph imparted upon Sanji, and that's why we love him so much. So we have Zeph to thank for that to a large degree. So that's just where I'm gonna leave it there. If you guys are interested in this subject, I will have a video out on it soon. I just want to put that out there. Great question though. Great points. I do appreciate you bringing that up, because for me it's a big topic. So
Yeah, no, that was excellent point, and I don't disagree with you at all. I think the ones I wanted to focus on was the biological fathers. Now I know most of the greater characters had great influences in their life, such as Sanji, but when you look at the impact that his biological father had on him, it had a more of an adverse effect on him than it did when once he was finally able to go under the tutelage of, you know, Master Chef from the Baratier. So I think the only thing I wanted to focus on was the biological fathers. And then also, too, I think one of the main reasons for like Yasopp and Shanks and those people not being in their child's life is like, well, these people are notorious pirates. So do you really want to run the risk of having a target not only on your back but on your family's back as well? And at that point, it's like, well, what kind of decision do you have to make at that point? Do I stay and run the risk of people targeting my family, or do I leave, keep my family safe while only having a target on my back while I'm sailing the seas? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
Not in Yasopp's case.
I got one.
But well, just, I'm sorry to cut you off, but just when you compare it to the people that are actually in their children's life, like Big Mom has actually killed her children. Kaido has imprisoned his child. Like the only great father in One Piece really is Whitebeard, because he actually desires the relationship of being a father to a child or to a son or to a mentee. So
Aaron, to your point, Whitebeard don't count though, because he's not biological.
Well, you're right. So that's my point. So if we're speaking only biologically, the absent fathers really did better for their children than the ones that are present.
There's something to be said about carving your own destiny. And I think a running theme in One Piece and a big theme of Wano is fighting the will you have inherited. It may not be a will that you want. We see that with Momo. We see that with Yamato. We see Yamato having inherited the will of her father, who she despises. And she doesn't want to be associated with Kaido. She doesn't want to be friendless and locked away her whole life just because she happens to be the child of a villain. And I think a big theme of One Piece is carving your own destiny. So yeah, maybe there's a lot of these fatherless characters like Usopp, like Luffy, who didn't have a father present in their life, who carved their own future. And that connects to the theme of freedom, you know? You have to become free. You have to be free from the bonds that tie you to a destiny that maybe you don't want. The sins of the father are not the sins of the child. And there's things like that in One Piece that really get to me, because you have this thing with the fatherlessness, and you have a lot of characters in One Piece who grow up without a role model in their life or a parent in their life, and they make something of themselves anyway, despite that. And I think that's a big message that Oda's trying to give out there. But at the same time, you have Luffy, who didn't have a father, but he had Shanks. And if we're going to talk about One Piece, we have to talk about Shanks, because he is the impetus for the entire story. If it weren't for Shanks teaching Luffy about what it means to be a pirate, if it weren't for Shanks guiding Luffy into the life of a pirate, showing him what freedom means, what's good about freedom, what's good about defending your friends, I don't think Luffy would be where he is right now. Shanks gave him that straw hat. That was a father to son moment, whether or not it was biological or not. I just feel like I agree with you. I think it's a good way to look at it. I also do think there is something about having that role model present to lead you into maybe the correct path in life that you didn't know was available to you, because you didn't have anyone to show you that path. And that's like the whole thing. Inherited will, inheriting the responsibility of a father is also something in One Piece that's present. Whitebeard is the peak example of that. He's the primary example of that specific point. So that's
for me, it just kind of goes back to the whole it takes a village thing. Like Shanks,
sure,
for that year was a part of the village that was helping shape who Luffy was to become. So I agree with you 100%.
What about you, Law? Before
I was just gonna add, honestly, to actually in harmony with both of you, what you guys were saying, Aaron and Hidden, is something that Dragon said himself, and it kind of seems not really why he left, but he was like, because he goes, so pirate, huh? Pirate is fine. Shanks said Dragon said in regards to Luffy. So it's like he wanted Luffy to choose his own path. He's like, I chose to be revolutionary, but I'm not going to force you into this world.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you choose your own path. Garp, in a way, tried forcing or strongly encouraging to be a Marine. Dragon went the other route. So when Luffy chose his own freedom, like you mentioned, his own path, his own route, his own life to take was being piracy, Dragon was actually proud of that, because you choose it yourself. That's what you wanted to do. So it could be a reason why the fathers, like they went for after their regime, is like, I went after mine. It's up for my kid to choose their own. I'm not going to force him into a pirate life. I'm not going to force him into a revolutionary life. I'm not going to force him into a marine life. I'm going to let them choose their own. Like, even now, it's like you could train them, but for career-wise, even nowadays, usually the father lets their son choose their own career. You give them training, like, or you could do this on the backup, but your own way of life, you have to choose that for yourself. You have to find your own. So One Piece kind of, like you said, inherited will shows that heavily. Choosing your own path in life is important in the One Piece world.
Yeah. Judge forced the future he wanted on his kids.
Right.
Shanks guided Luffy as a replacement for his father. Dragon let Luffy take the path that Luffy wanted to take. There's a difference between guiding and bossing someone around. Leading, a leader and a boss are two different things. And I think that the appropriate thing for a father to do is lead or guide, but not be a boss, not force you to live a life you don't want. So that's the last thing I'm going to say.
Listen, I'm going to use this argument, and I'm going to just say it's like the fourth Hokage. You know what I'm saying? Just because you neglect your child and they become great doesn't mean that that's your achievement.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want none of that talk about like, yo, absentee fathers are really the ones who push the envelope to great son. No, bro. That's not your achievement.
Aaron, I'll say this. That was a great question, and it got some really great discussion from him. I didn't know that about him. That was amazing. Don't be thinking a village is going to raise your kid, man. You raise your kid yourself.
Listen, Aaron, you better be taking care of your kids if you got some.
Right?
Because I don't want you calling in every week, bro, if they're not getting taken care of. Priorities is mixed up.
I'm not gonna be a deadbeat father.
Thank you for that question, man. That was something I wasn't expecting to talk about.
That was
great.
probably gonna be that probably would have somehow came out through dinner afterwards.
Yeah.
Like literally, like that would have never came up on the episode. So Aaron, you always come in with the heat, bro.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hidden, I appreciate you for sharing your story with me. That was extremely needed, not just for me, but for everybody listening. So thank you for coming on here and sharing that.
I'm happy to talk about that, man. I definitely have a message with that, and I want to get it out there. And I appreciate that today was the first opportunity I had to talk about a subject like that, because I was going to spend a lot of time on this video, and the fact that I got to get it out there a little bit early was nice. It's nice to talk about it. So I appreciate you for asking that question, because that's something that people don't talk about enough in One Piece. Everyone just makes jokes, you know, Shanks is a deadbeat, Yasopp's a deadbeat. But it's like, what is Oda saying with that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's something we have to look at, and that's, I'll get to that at a later time. Thank you, though. Thank you for bringing that up, man.
Yeah,
I'll be watching out for that video when you drop it.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron.
One more call, guys, and it has to be super quick. We only got like 2 minutes left.
And yeah, real quick, we got a super chat from Mosh. It says, love it hidden, appreciate the insight, TOPT, fire.
This is that One Piece talk. Larry speaking. Who are you and how are you?
Larry, it's Kalen, man. How's it going?
Hey, KJ! What's up, bro?
Let's go.
Hey, man, I'm here. I finally made it, man.
What's up, man?
Yeah, man, I just had one little question, man. It's for all you guys, man. Really, man. 'Cause I'm out here watching you guys, and Hidden's on here, and he got the best stuff with Par Vision, man. I just want to ask, man,
Thank you.
in general, do you think Blackbeard comes to Wano and takes a fruit?
He comes to Wano and takes a fruit.
Marco better watch out.
I think it's Marcos. That's my answer.
He's either going to one of two places, in my opinion. He's either going to Wano or he's going to Marijoa. And
Not okay?
Whole cake too.
So Whole Cake, I don't think he's going there.
Okay.
I think if anything, he's sending people there from his crew. But if he's going somewhere, it's either going to be Wano, because like if he's going somewhere, he has to get the fruit right for himself. It's either Wano or Marijoa. And he's either going to Wano for some fruit there, Marco's, Orochi's, whatever it may be, or he's going to Marijoa for the Mera no Mi, which was on Sabo. And then I talked about this in my Sabo video. But if Sabo's dead right now, or if he's like on the way out, Blackbeard said, hey, we're not going to let them get their hands on this, men, let's move out. What's he talking about? Probably that fruit. So
Lawrence is a big proponent of that one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was my thought on that.
What about you, Lai? And then we'll go to Sebastian. Remember, it has to be quick, bro. We only got like minutes.
I never really thought that much about it, so I don't know. I'm not sure actually.
all right, cool.
I was like, yo, real talk. I was expecting this real answer, and it's all you just. I don't know.
If I had similar to Wano, but if I had to guess, I would say no. That's just like a lot more padding onto the Wano storyline, and there's not many ties that tie Blackbeard to it. to this point, like as of right now. And maybe they're there and I'm not seeing them, but I don't see like the direct ties for Blackbeard to come to Wano outside of a Devil Fruit. But
what about you, KJ? Real quick, what's your answer, bro?
Man, I really think he is coming, man. Like, I just
pull up.
That's all that
Hidden
matters.
said it earlier. Like, Hidden said it earlier, you know, like he either has a different type of fruit and that we already don't know about, or, you know, just in general, you know, he's coming to get that third fruit. So, you know, I think he does take it. You know, Marco does sound kind of, you know, I think maybe, but, you know, I do think he takes another fruit, and that's just me. But in general, I know you guys got to get ready to go. You guys are the best, man. And I appreciate you guys putting Hidden on here and Straw Hat Death, man. And y'all guys are the best, man, for real.
Yo, this won't be the last time, bro.
I hope not, man.
I love hearing that, man.
Yo, KJ, I appreciate you, and I appreciate the love you show, man. Thank you so much continuously.
No
Thank you,
problem, Larry.
man.
You know, I'm from Florida, man, so I'm telling you, Larry, I come up there and see that red film with y'all.
Pull up.
All right, KJ, enjoy the rest of your night.
Nope.
All right, so before we head out, if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hidden, where can they find you and yada yada about you?
All right, so you can find me in two places. On YouTube, you'll find, if you look up The Hidden Island, my channel will be the first thing that comes up when you search it. So subscribe to me there. Make sure you do it. I got fire content. I don't drop it like every week like a lot of people do or like every other day, but when I put things out, they're good. I make sure they're good. And the other place you can find me is on Twitter. It's going to be at The Hidden Island, except the I in Island is spelled with a lowercase L because the Hidden Island was already taken. So I found like a workaround for that. So just type in The Hidden Island on Twitter. I'll come up there too. Follow me there. I'm tweeting a lot more now. I'm putting out some hot takes, maybe some spicy tweets now and then. So.
All right, but anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us on this very great adventure of an episode today. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the super chats that you were sending as well, and the subscriptions and all that other stuff. We're gonna enjoy ourselves. We may go on TikTok live for our dinner, so watch out for that. And if anything, thank you so much. We appreciate you. This is that One Piece Talk, and this is Hidden Island. See you guys later. John.
See you guys.